1-2, swung on and miss. Fuchs
coming in right side, Sip goes down to the slide and gets it.
Nelson's going to take off on the pitch, which is a called strike 3. Anderson.
Wes Marshall pitches a ground ball through the infield on the left side. One will score. They're going to wave a second runner around. Throw will come to the plate. It is not in time.
Halstead Telephone Company and R&J Broadcasting Incorporated is proud to present to you this broadcast on yourliveevent.com.
And a good Saturday morning. Welcome to our Irie Insurance pregame show. It's high school softball on yourliveevent.com. I'm Joel Morgan, Chase Miller alongside me, and we are coming to you live from West Fargo High School as the Packers hosting the Central Cass Squirrels, two teams that have had a whole lot of success in their programs, one in Class A, one in Class B, and two teams that have had a whole lot of success this season. West Fargo 10-1 on the year. Their only loss coming against Moorhead. Well, Central Cass, they are 9-2, and they're coming off a big 17-0 win yesterday against Hankinson. So these two teams, a game that originally set to be played out in Castleton, got moved out here on this Saturday morning for a doubleheader, as West Fargo will play again this afternoon in an EDC matchup, and that will be against Devils Lake. But we'll have both of these Central Cass games coming your way here on yourliveevent.com. As I mentioned, Chase Miller with me, and Chase, a lot of history, a lot of good softball played between these two teams, and this was one. We've had so much moving of the schedule, but neither coach wanted to lose this on the schedule.
I think it's the nice thing is Mother Nature has been a thorn and it's been a blender. The schedules have been moved around, but these two programs, Joel, when you just take a look, again, at sanctioned in North Dakota state titles, Central Cass in Class B has 5. Since it started in 2012. On the opposite side, for the West Fargo Packers, they have 10 since it started in 2009 for the first official year. So you talk about best programs in the state of North Dakota for softball. Doesn't matter if it's Class A, Class B. The eastern side of the state has seen some really good players come through both programs, Joel, and we're going to see that again here this morning and afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely should be a good matchup between these two teams. As I mentioned, a big win yesterday for the Central Cass Squirrels, 17-0. Tori Richter 3 for 4. Kate Sinner 2 for 3. Nelson, a 2-run home run in that game, so a lot of offensive firepower between these two opponents. They've lost both of their games against tough opponents. Both have been Class A teams. Well, West Fargo's only loss again against Moorhead. They have beat every team they've played from the state of North Dakota. This is our Irie Insurance pregame show. Visit them online at irieins.com. We'll step aside. Back with more on yourliveevent.com.
And caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
Hello, I'm Jim Berkemeyer, inviting you to join me on a New England Fall Foliage Tour, September 25th to October 3rd. Our journey begins with a tour of historic Boston. We then travel to New Hampshire's White Mountains to admire the spectacular colors before ending our journey in New York City with an included Broadway musical. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ, to learn more about this tour and watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
It's the concert event of the summer in the Brainerd Lakes area. Lakes Jam, June 22nd through June 25th at Brainerd International Raceway.
R&J Broadcasting is the presenting sponsor.
Experience Lakes Jam. For rock and rollers, the main stage features Tesla, Warrant, and Hairball. For country enthusiasts, John Party, Cole Swindell, Gabby Barrett, and Mark Wills. Experience watercross, drifting, and lawnmower racing. For on-site camping, lodging, and tickets, visit lakesjam.com.
Welcome back here again on our Irie Insurance pregame show. A good softball matchup. West Fargo against Central Cass. The Packers 10-1, West Fargo 9-2 on the season. Just a little bit of time left here before we start getting to the postseason. And Chase, every team wants to get reps. Every team wants to get games. And what has just been the most condensed season we've seen in a while.
Yeah, when you talk to the coaches, it doesn't matter if it's golf, it doesn't matter if it's track and field, baseball, or softball. They're just saying we actually want to go out and actually play some games. There's only so many times, Joe, that you and I can go inside a gym and get soft toss pitching or getting wiffle ball pitching. We've seen some teams talk about that their softball team has done a wiffle ball game against their baseball team just because it's a different face, it's a different person. So the fact that we're able to get out here, there was some rain that came through the area last night. You know, in the back of your mind, you're going, is the infield going to hold? Well, the good thing, if you're a West Fargo fan, you're going to get 3 games in today. Central Cass able to get this doubleheader. And as we mentioned earlier, Joel, Scott, and Pat, the head coaches respectively, they understand the quality of softball that they're going to get here as well. This is iron sharpening iron. Whether you win or lose, you're going to learn some things from a coaching standpoint about their players, Joel, and that's why they want to play this type of non-conference. You know, this was already scheduled to be this late in the season already. And the reason why they want to do this is the last time where you might make a little tweak in the lineup or move someone around because you're going to get challenged here today, respectively, from both sides.
And I remember this, you know, my time in Valley City, there was one season, there was a showcase out at Central Cass. They beat the Squirrels. They beat West Fargo, and that was such a big landmark win for you on the season. That's kind of that feather in your hat when you want to see how you're gauged. So that's playing against them. Now they're playing against each other, and is iron sharpening iron between these two teams. A little chilly. We're starting before noon. We got some wind coming through. It's North Dakota, I think, Chase, the cold, a little bit of a chilly start to a game we're used to. The wind, we're used to it, but it is going to be a big factor today.
It's going to be a factor. Yesterday there was some softball games, and West Fargo was supposed to go to Bismarck, Joel. The games didn't happen because there was 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts, because they said, we're not going to play softball in 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts where you're going to hit it to center and it goes down the right field line. It becomes a foul ball. So the nice thing is this is going to be a little bit of a tournament setting, too, because we're a couple weeks away, from these teams playing respectively in the Region 1 tournament and the EDC tournament. Actually, Central Cass in a week is going to be going in the Region 1 tournament. So, how does the weather hold? And if it doesn't hold, you might play multiple games in a day or have to come through the loser's bracket, win, and then take a game off, play again. So for both teams, again, all the things that you kind of want to go and kind of hit a check mark box in to a certain degree, that's what you're looking to kind of provide and do here a little bit in this one, Joel.
Absolutely. We'll take a break here. We'll wrap up our Irie Insurance pregame show. We'll be back with more on yourliveevent.com.
The team at Maple River Grain and Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Grain and Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
RDK Enterprises specializes in seed meter calibration, planter maintenance, and they have the full line of precision planting products. Call them at 701-636-2119 to schedule your meter, planter, and precision planting software repairs and update. This includes monitoring and control systems, all to help improve your planting, which means improved profits. It pays to plant with precision with RDK Enterprises. Locations in Hillsboro and Drayton, North Dakota, planterdoc.com, or call 701-636-2119.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
And welcome back to YourLiveEvent.com, and that will do it for our Irie Insurance pregame show as we are just about set to go. Central Cass Squirrels against the West Fargo Packers. The Squirrels, the visitors on the scoreboard. We'll take a look at their batting order. It'll be the pitcher, Tori Richter, leading off. Grace Fletchock playing second base, batting second. Kate Sinner, third baseman, batting third. Barb Pranty, the catcher, batting cleanup. Peyton Nelson playing first base, she'll bat fifth. Riley Holzer, the shortstop, batting sixth. Paige Wixow, the designated player, batting seventh. Taylor Severson, left field, batting eighth. Camry Nelson, right field, batting ninth. Richter, Fletchock, Sinner, Pranty, Nelson, Holzer, Wixow, Severson, and Nelson will be the batting order for the Central Cass Squirrels. Richter, 3 hits yesterday. Sinner, 2 hits. Nelson, a 2-run home run. The offense came to play yesterday in that 17-0 win against Hankinson in a Region 1 matchup to improve their record to 9-2 on the season. Grace Warrior will be in the pitcher's circle for the West Fargo Packers. It'll be a righty going against a righty to get things going. And temperatures into the 50s today. We got a wind coming in steady around 20 gusts, probably into the 30s. Here's the first pitch on the way, and this one is fouled back. 11:03. Will be time of first pitch, and behind in the count is Richter 0-1. Mara Lick will do the work behind home plate for the Packers, who are 10-1 on the season, undefeated against teams from North Dakota. And here comes the 0-1 pitch. This one outside, evens the count. 1 ball, 1 strike. As we mentioned, just a week away from the start of the postseason, we'll have coverage of Region 1, Region 2, both baseball and softball on YourLiveEvent.com. Count 1 ball, 1 strike. Here comes the pitch. This one outside, 2-1 the count. Grace Vetter at first, Aubrey Finn at second. Sophia Husky will be at short. Courtney Doctor at third base. That is how the infield lines up for the Packers. Next offering comes outside. Hitters count, 3-1. Richter at the plate. Fletchock waiting on deck. Game 1 of a doubleheader. The Squirrels looking for 3 wins here in 2 days. Pitch swung on and missed by Richter, where he gets one right by her. It is now a full count, 3-2. Righty's 3-2 pitch, swung on and miss. Nice job battling back. Grace Warrior will get the strikeout, one away, and that'll bring up Grace Fletchock.
Good at bat regardless of the strikeout there by Richter, able to take some pitches, Joel. She does a nice job, and getting Richter out, that was a good off-speed pitch there by Weary, a nice part of the plate as well.
To the plate, Fletchock. No one on, one away. Ball one outside. And 17 runs yesterday for the Squirrels in a 5-inning game. 1-0 outside, now 2-0. Averaging nearly double-figure runs per game. You look at those two losses, one against Dickinson, that was a 2-1 game. The other loss, I forgot the opponent, but it came at 6-5. Next pitch runs inside. 3-0 the count, no one on. Fletchock trying to be the first base runner of the game here in the top of the first inning. So Richter struck out, where he was behind in the count and came back to register that strikeout. And pitch will be taken outside. Count now to 3-1. Three-one pitch taken, count full again. Chase your first two batters and you're running full counts.
Yeah, right now just kind of nibbling on the outer part of the plate here, and Fletchock and respectively Richter just forcing Weary to throw some strikes here in the circle.
And the 3-2, this one pulled out of the air at third. It's going to be a line out to Doctor for out number 2.
Nice job by Doctor there, playing a little in at third base, and getting out in front of that one just a little bit was a Fletchock, but Fletchock able to force the defense to make a play, and that's what they were able to do.
Bases empty, 2 away for Katie Sinner. She has been a big bat in this lineup for years. The first pitch of the juniors swung on and missed.
Now, Sinner is the type of girl, Joe, where you can hit one to that JV field across the way. You don't say that a lot, but she's got a lot of power.
And the 0-1 will swing through one. She was thinking power on that swing behind in the count 0-2. A state champion wrestler, the Squirrels, in the first year of sanctioned girls wrestling, were the champions this year in what was a wrestling-packed weekend at the Fargo Dome. First time boys and girls competing at the same site. 0-2 pitch. That one will tail inside, count 1-2. Pranti awaits on deck. The catcher has the shin guards on. Center trying to extend this top of the first inning. And the pitch outside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
The one thing with softball, Joe, you do get a lot of movement on that one. Almost kind of like bowling, so to speak, with, you're trying to get that arc kind of coming through with the curve. We saw that there where it just kind of curved out a little bit at the very end of the strike zone.
No one on, 2 away, 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. 2 strikeouts for Worry this inning. It is 3 up, 3 down here in the top half of the first inning. The Packers will come to bat when we return. It's high school softball on YourLiveEvent.com.
Hello, I'm Jim Berkemeyer, inviting you to join me on a New England Fall Foliage Tour, September 25th to October 3rd. Our journey begins with a tour of historic Boston. We then travel to New Hampshire's White Mountains to admire the spectacular colors before ending our journey in New York City with an included Broadway musical. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ, to learn more about this tour and watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
It's the concert event of the summer in the Brainerd Lakes area. Lakes Jam, June 22nd through June 25th at Brainerd International Raceway.
R&J Broadcasting is the presenting sponsor.
Experience Lakes Jam. For rock and rollers, the main stage features Tesla, Warrants, and Hairball. For country enthusiasts, John Party, Cole Swindell, Gabby Barrett, and Mark Wills. Experience watercross, drifting, and lawnmower racing. For on-site camping, lodging, and tickets, visit lakesjam.com.
Back on YourLiveEvent.com, the Squirrels will shut down in order, 1, 2, 3 in the top half of this inning. The Packers will get their first cuts of the, almost said the evening, and that would have been wrong. Would have said the afternoon, that would have been wrong. Of the morning, game one of this doubleheader is Caitlin Kackman, the center fielder, leading off. Mara Lick, the catcher, batting second. Sophia Husky, the shortstop, batting third. Courtney Doctor, the third baseman, batting cleanup. Grace Worry, the pitcher, batting fifth. Tori Richter in the circle. Let's get through this first pitch of the at-bat, which will be called ball one. Aubrey Flynn, the second baseman, bats next. Delilah Oslin batting seventh. Kendall Krenz, right fielder, batting eighth. Grace Better, the first baseman, batting ninth for the Packers. And the pitch is sent all the way on to center. It gets by Mickey Prock now. Kackman on to second, will hold up for a stand-up double, and the first hit of the game will go to the West Fargo Packers.
That was a great swing, and that one hop the center fielder, Joel, and just nowhere to go. Just kind of came in on that ball and just kind of fishtailed a little bit at the very end.
Mara Lick will come to the plate with Kackman at second. Barb Pranty will play behind home plate, doing the catching for Richter. First pitch called a strike. Peyton Nelson at first, Grace Fletchock at second, Riley Holzer at short, Kate Sinner at third, Taylor Severson in left, Mickey Prochnow in center, Camille Nelson in right field. Pitch will miss, 1 ball, 1 strike. I think you're right, Chase. Didn't just do a whole lot with that swing. Just saw a ball, put it down, hit it. And a good way to start off the inning for the Packers. Butt comes down, and they're going to say that it's foul. And I think that probably goes to the side of the Packers there, because that would have been a sure out at first.
Yeah, all of a sudden you go to a little small ball, try to advance the runner up 60 feet. And a good bunt, Joel, just, kind of hit her in the batter's box there. So we'll see what they do in the count here now, what play they put on.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Pitch swung on and missed, and down on strikes is Lick for out number 1. Richter records her first strikeout, and they'll bring up Sophia Husky, the shortstop, with Kackman at second.
The one thing, too, with softball here, Joel, as much as we talk about lineups, you get to a tournament time, it's about pitching, and if you can have quality arms, which we've seen Scott and Pat have throughout the years here, they can make deep runs.
First pitch will miss for a ball. And, Richter's pitched a lot of innings this season for Central Cass, so Nelson has kind of been the ace of that lineup. So they're going to work some of their pitches, as West Fargo will, especially with that third game on the horizon. Ball put in play towards second base, should be playable for Fletchock, and a miscommunication between her and Nelson. Kackman was holding up at second for the out. She will go on to third. O'Husky will take first base on the foul.
That's not one that Scott's not going to be too happy with when you talk about that one over. Just someone's got to call the other player off a little bit there and make sure everything is taken care of. But now all of a sudden, if you're West Fargo, hey, a chance to put a crooked number up early here in this game, Joel.
Runners at the corners, 1 away for Courtney Doctor. Corner infielders playing in, and it's ball 1 high. And you wonder if that's a situation where the wind comes into play, if Nelson was staying close in case that one kind of tailed off and just didn't hear Fletchock trying to create separation there, as the next one runs high. 2 balls, no strikes.
Something that's a little unique from other sports, too, is softball. Sometimes you don't have your full rosters with you on certain days because they're doing track and field or golf or, multi-sport athletes in the spring. But for the most part here, though, today, Joel, we're going to see pretty much what the Packers and Squirrels are going to, roll out throughout the rest of this season.
Count 3-0, runners at the corners, 1 away. Richter a bad pitch away from loading up the bases for West Fargo, and that's exactly what she'll do as she misses the strike zone. So this inning we've seen a double, an error, and a walk. Bases are loaded, 1 away.
West Fargo's doing a nice job as well. We saw Central Cass take some pitches in their first go-around. West Fargo, same thing, forcing Richter to throw some strikes, and if it's not where they want to find it in the zone, Joel, they're not going to go after it.
Weary at the plate. We'll take a strike. Grace Weary trying to help out her own cause here with the bases loaded, 1 away. Next offering called a strike. Yeah, right, Chase. Waiting for Richter to throw strikes, and Weary took 2 there. Richter through the signs. Will come set here in the circle. Fouls 1 back, keeps the count at 0-2. Kackman at third, O'Husky at second, Doctor at first.
these programs, sometimes, Joel, they go into a game, they're so top-heavy in terms of their ability where sometimes it makes it easy. So Richter finds herself in a situation that she probably hasn't been in too much this year, early on in a ball game for the Squirrels.
Misses with the next one, 1-2. And that's another thing you want to do preparing on for those tournaments is situations like this, as the next one will be fouled back, is you want to see bases loaded, one out early in the game. You want to see how you get out of that situation. You want to see how your team reacts when their turn to bat comes at the opportunity that there could be some runs here for the Packers. 1-2 pitch. This one sent in the air on to center. This one will keep going, and it's gone. Grand slam. Where he puts down the big swing, and the Packers out to a 4-0 lead.
West Fargo pitcher, Grace Weary.
Weary helping herself out big there with that grand slam.
That was a really good hit. A really nice at-bat by Weary as well. Got behind in the count, Joel, 0-2, fouled one off, took a close pitch, fouled another one off, and then just got the one she wanted, and she turned it around. That sounded good. That looked good and right off the bat, and 4 good runs for the West Fargo Packers.
So it's going to be Aubrey Finn, the second baseman, still just 1 out. Packers strike early here in this one, bottom of the first inning, and coming out swinging is Finn. Absolutely right, Chase, about that at-bat. Made Richter throw strikes, kind of saw those first few pitches, sent a couple back, and then just a big swing. And it's right away off the bat. You knew that one was gone. Prochnow threw the hands up as a swing and a miss from Finn. Behind the count 0-2.
And, for Central Cass, their point of view, you kind of gave West Fargo an extra run, right? There should have been 2 outs there, walk runners at the corners instead. Bases were loaded. So West Fargo took advantage of a miscue and capitalized.
This one chopped onto short. Holzer has it on to first for the second out, 6-3. Finn is retired, 2 away for Delilah Oslin, the left fielder.
That's what good teams do. How many times have you said it over the years, Joel? Taking a look at Pat Johnson's teams, you have an error, you allow a free walk, you do something, give a team an extra out, and West Fargo normally more times than not is able to put a cricket number up.
And this one loop foul along the third base side. This inning we've seen a double, an error, a walk, and a grand slam. 4-0 the score, and a couple extra cuts for Oslin as she comes back into the right-handed batter's box. Pops one foul on the fest. Pranty will run out there, but runs out of room. Count 0-2. This is the exact position that Weary was in before she hit that grand slam behind 0-2. The Packers have worked the count well. The Squirrels and their cuts as well able to work the count. It will be 4, 5, and 6 for Central Cass coming up in the top of the second inning. Another one hit foul, third base side.
Tell you what, the rips, though, that the Packers are getting, they're getting a pretty quality through the strike zone there, through that zone, able to get contact with the softball, and you're hearing a lot of really good sounds off the bat so far in this first inning for the West Fargo Packers.
But no one on, 2 away, the count 0-2. Richter trying to end the inning. Sends one high and outside, 1-2. West Fargo, again, has not lost to a team on this side of the river. Only lost a close one to Moorhead. Pitch comes low, evens it up 2-2.
The definition of gold standard, I would say, Joel, right? The West Fargo softball program here, club or sanctioned.
Richter's 2-2. Sent in the air, on to center. This one's carried, and it's gone. Solo home run.
Home run for the Packer left fielder, Delia Oslin.
Delia Oslin hits the second home run of the inning, and it has become a 5-0 lead. Something about starting those at-bats 0-2 for the Packers this inning, Chase. She was behind 0-2 and sends it on to center.
You normally don't want to do that. I mean, Joe Mauer, going back to baseball, normally was behind in the count a lot, right? Always took that first pitch for a strike. But I tell you what, if you can have confidence in yourself with a quick swing through the zone and find a way to barrel a ball up, that's what West Fargo's done here in the first.
Krenz comes out swinging on to second. Fletchock will go to first. 4-3 ends the inning. On the Bank North scoreboard, the Packers put up 5. They lead 5-0 against Central Cass. The Squirrels coming to bat when we return. It's high school softball on yourliveevent.com.
The team at Maple River Grain and Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Grain and Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Back on yourliveevent.com on the Bank North scoreboard, West Fargo 5, Central Cass scoreless. It was 5 runs, 3 hits in the bottom of the first inning. Home runs coming for Weary and Oslin that inning, and aided by an error. So Central Cass trying to make up some runs here in the top of the second. Barb Pranty, Peyton Nelson, Riley Holzer. That is 4, 5, and 6 of this Squirrels lineup.
You know, looking at these rosters, Joel, West Fargo, they only have 1 senior on their roster. There's a lot of youth here for the Packers, and again, they just continue to roll. And for Scott Costa and the Central Cass Squirrels, a handful of seniors, but again, there's some juniors and some sophomores who are getting a lot of playing time this season for Central Cass as well.
Squirrels were set down in order in their half of the first inning. First one sent on the air to center, should be playable. It is. Nice job, Kackman staying with it for the first out of the inning. I think anything hit in the air, Chase, could potentially be an adventure today.
I think so. If we had the wind gust yesterday, I think that one might have gotten carrying out to the jet stream a little bit. It's not as windy. It feels like a normal day now in the Red River Valley. But
and one away for the big bat of Peyton Nelson. She'll take a ball outside. Nelson yesterday a 2-run home run. Again, 17 runs yesterday for the Squirrels in their win against Hankinson. Next one will come outside.
Joel, you've been around the state. You remember when Class A, Class B played the state tournament at the same city. Now it's, the baseball, softball doubleheader.
Ball fouled, will come back out of play.
Were you a fan of Class A, Class B softball being played, in Dickinson, for example? You could walk to one field or the other, or do you kind of like the Class B, Class A baseball, softball in Jamestown and Fargo this year, respectively, for their classes?
I think I like having the Class A and Class B as the next pitch will come outside. I think for a lot of these families, especially in Class B towns, you're able to watch both of your kids who could potentially be playing in the tournament. But I think having those Class A and Class B softball tournaments on site were very big for growing the sport. As it's ball 4 and Nelson will get first base. It's the first runner for the Squirrels. Riley Holzer, the shortstop, comes up. I think, Chase, there was, and not that these two classes clash against each other, but there was a lot of both of them kind of building each other up, and now they're able to be what they are, and I think that was important at that time. Murray's pitch will come high and inside, gets away from Lick to the backstop, and that puts Nelson on to second base.
Well, I just remember a girl named Hannah Stewart from Bishop Bryan goes to Iowa for basketball. Could have went probably to Iowa for softball. And once she graduated, Bishop Bryan went down to Class B pretty quickly. But Bishop Bryan gave West Fargo all they could handle a few years ago when she was a junior and a senior in that state tournament.
1 ball, 1 strike, the count. Holzer at the plate. Wixo, the designated player, awaiting on deck. And the 1-1 outside. Going back to how this season has gone for Central Cass, I couldn't remember who had handed them their second loss. It was Kindred Richland, and that was a 2-1 game. Pitch fouled back will put the count at 2-2. So Kindred Richland, a team that they will have to battle to come out of Region 1 to go on to state.
Midseason madness last week, played a really good Dickinson team, 2 extra innings lost by a run.
And the 2-2 outside. Count full 3-2. Where he has walked Nelson, who stands at second base. Mitchell Cass knows they don't need 5 runs here this inning, but they got to strike when they get those opportunities. And here comes a 3-2, swung on and missed. And down on strikes is Holzer. That'll bring up Paige Wixo, the designated player.
Something, I don't care what class you're doing, if you're able to strike out Holzer and Fletchock, Holzer and Richter, those are some 2 at-bats that normally put the ball in play a lot of times here for the Squirrels. So Weary doing a nice job in the circle right now for the Packers.
And first pitch swung on and missed for Wixo. Severson awaiting on deck for the Squirrels.
Talking with some softball coaches too over the years, once they changed it the first year, Joel, where Class A had their own city, Class B. Some softball coaches really felt like it took the state tournament down, because you could walk to one venue, see how many games in a day, and just see the caliber of talent from both sides. But now with Class B, it's Class A. It's kind of nice in Fargo. Go to Theraldson Park and then you walk to Newman Outdoor Field and you can get that. So it's pros and cons on both sides of that argument.
And the 2-1, this one sent high out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 1 runner at second, 2 away for the Squirrels, down 5-0. This is game 1 of a doubleheader. We'll have the second one coming your way after this one wraps up, and then that'll be it for our broadcast. But West Fargo will still have 1 game here. It'll be Devils Lake in an EDC matchup, so they'll play 3 on the card today as a 2-2 pitch comes high, full at 3-2. Packers right now sit atop on the EDC standings. Where he's pitch. Called strike 3. Wixo down on strikes. Back-to-back strikeouts end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 left on. The Packers lead 5-0. It'll be 9-1-2 when we return. It's high school softball on yourliveevent.com.
RDK Enterprises specializes in seed meter calibration, planter maintenance, and they have the full line of precision planting products. Call them at 701-636-2119 to schedule your meter, planter, and precision planting software repairs and update. This includes monitoring and control systems, all to help improve your planting, which means improved profits. It pays to plant with precision with RDK Enterprises. Locations in Hillsborough and Drayton, North Dakota, planterdoc.com, or call 701-636-2119.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Number 15, Grace Vetter.
And Grace Vetter will lead off the bottom of the second inning for the Packers, who lead 5-0. Gets ball 1 inside from Tori Richter. Bottom of the first inning was 5 runs, 3 hits for the Packers, a grand slam and a solo home run. Drove in all of their offense. Ball hit between second and short. Vetter's aboard with a leadoff single. Second straight inning with a leadoff hit for West Fargo.
If you're Pat Johnson, Joel, too, whether you get runs or outs, it's just been some good swings on the softball so far here the first time through the lineup.
Center fielder, number 21, Caitlin Kackman.
And Kackman will let off the bottom of the first with a stand-up double. Back up to the plate. Takes a ball outside. 8 batters went to the plate last inning for the Packers. Lays off another one outside. Well, it's going to be a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike. A lot of patience at the plate for the Packers. As you mentioned, Chase, it's been some good at-bats for West Fargo. 1-1. This one fouled onto the track and out of play.
And there's some girls that just have, power, right? They got the speed. They can blow it by you. Others kind of have to pick and choose a little bit. And Richter's been trying to work the zone and work a little off-speed pitches.
And called strike 3. Keckman down on strikes for the first out of the inning. Richter's second strikeout. Mara Lick, the catcher, comes up with a runner on first and one away.
There was an off-speed pitch by Richter. Does a nice job hitting the outer part of the plate, but West Fargo's been ready for it.
And Lick comes out swinging and will foul it out of play. She was Richter's first strikeout victim last inning. You can see coverage of Region 1 and Region 2 softball and baseball just right around the corner here on yourliveevent.com. 0-1 pitch. This one on the ground to third. Center comes, makes the throw. They'll get the runner at first. Lick's retired 5-3, 2 away. Vetter will advance on to second. Nice job by Center. Covered some ground, made that play on the clean throw. And a runner at third, 2 away for Sophie O'Husky, the shortstop for the Packers.
O'Husky might have the best name, by the way. How it's spelled and how it's said.
And first pitch inside. That one will be a ball. And one of those ones you always have to check on.
How it's spelled is not maybe how you might say it, Joel.
1-0 pitch. This one hit on the ground, picked up at second, and it's going to be a close play, and they'll get the out as Nelson's able to get to the bag, and Fletchock makes the throw. 4-3 on the ground out. The leadoff single is left stranded at second. We have played 2 complete innings on the Bank North scoreboard. West Fargo 5, Central Cass scoreless. High school baseball is right here on yourliveevent.com.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
Hello, I'm Jim Berkemeyer, inviting you to join me on a New England Fall Foliage Tour, September 25th to October 3rd. Our journey begins with a tour of historic Boston. We then travel to New Hampshire's White Mountains to admire the spectacular colors before ending our journey in New York City with an included Broadway musical. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ, to learn more about this tour and watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
Back on yourliveevent.com, I'm Joel Morgan, Chase Miller alongside me. Game 1 of our high school softball doubleheader, West Fargo and Central Cass. Taylor Severson will lead off the inning for the Central Cass Squirrels. They've had just one base runner that was left stranded last inning.
Leading off the top of the third, left fielder, number 13, Taylor Severson.
Meeting in the circle, and then Severson will step in.
And we said, Joel, in our pregame that, both teams are going to learn something today, playing pretty good competition, kind of put them in situations, and Central Cass has been in some situations. West Fargo so far, nice job by Weary, just kind of going through this lineup and not really putting her defense, in those situations that we saw in the first inning from Central Cass.
The line on Grace Weary so far, 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, just one base runner that was a walk last inning. Also has a grand slam to her name. Severson will foul this one out of play. And the count 0-2. Two runs inside, 1 ball, 2 strikes, and the uniqueness, or the advantage, I should say, you get with softball, Chase, is that those arms last a little bit longer. You don't have to worry about situations you do in baseball, and that's why you get the opportunity West Fargo has to play 3 in a day to get them in as you want to get ready for that EDC tournament. The 1-2 pitch sent in the air over to third, and it's brought down by Doctor for out number 1.
Yeah, if this was baseball, these games would have been canceled today, or it only would have been a 1 game, maybe even a 5-inning, not even a 7-inning game, and you'd probably get some younger players because you'd be more worried about your conference game a little bit later on, and that's what makes it different, but also a different kind of challenge for both sports once you get to tournament time.
Nelson at the plate. Takes a ball inside.
There's
no strike inside.
There's no question, though, Joel. If you have the pitching, doesn't matter softball or baseball, you're going to make a name for yourself.
Next up, the 0-1. That is fouled. Back last week, we're out in Enderlin for their baseball classic. And a lot of teams had to go deep into their arms. It was one of those situations where they needed to get games. Some of those games not supposed to be counting in the region ended up having to count just because of schedule-wise. As chasing a pitch and swinging through it is Nelson, down on strikes, 2 away, and they'll bring up the top of the order. Strikeout number 4 for Weary.
Now batting the pitcher, number 3, Tori Richter.
So I think that's a little bit more of that testament to uniqueness of the situation you can do on a day like this. Richter struck out in the first inning. Weary threw the lineup for the first time. Now seeing them the second time around, and it's a ball inside to Richter. One-0 tip back, 1 ball, 1 strike.
The rest of the EDC, they're going to look at, Pat Johnson's roster and go, really, Grace is only a sophomore. You start taking a look at some of the players here, Joel. A lot of sophomores here for Pat Johnson playing today.
And the 1-1. This one pulled out of the air. How about that? Finn at second. Looked like it was going to come down for a base hit. And instead she'll get it for the 3rd out of the inning. The Squirrels set down in order here in the top of the 3rd. We'll be back with more on YourLiveEvent.com.
It's the concert event of the summer in the Brainerd Lakes area. Lakes Jam, June 22nd through June 25th at Brainerd International Raceway.
R&J Broadcasting is the presenting sponsor.
Experience Lakes Jam. For rock and rollers, the main stage features Tesla, Warrants, and Hairball. For country enthusiasts, John Party, Cole Swindell, Gabby Barrett, and Mark Wills. Experience watercross, drifting, and lawnmower racing. For on-site camping, lodging, and tickets, visit lakesjam.com.
The team at Maple River Grain and Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Grain and Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
And Courtney Doctor will lead off the bottom of the 3rd inning for West Fargo, who leads 5-0. She'll take a pitch inside, ball 1. Doctor, Weary, and Finn, who ended the top half of this inning with a fantastic play for the final out. Sometimes Chase, a great defense, follows up with a great performance as the plate, as this one eaten up by Holzer at short. 6-3 on the ground out. Doctors retired, 1 away.
You mentioned great defense. Holzer made that play look a lot easier than what it really was. 2 little curl hops to a left, had to go down to a knee, get the glove, and Holzer's got a cannon at shortstop. But yeah, you talk about making a good web gem in the outfield or the infield, and it seems like every other time that person who made that web gem comes up to start the next half inning.
We're at the plate. We'll take ball 1. Her last at bat. Came up with the bases loaded, put down a good swing, and unloaded the bases. Gets one high, 2-0. She was behind in the count, 0-2. Fouled off a few pitches, laid off some ones outside the strike zone, and then just put down that really good swing on the center. Both home runs for the Packers went on to center. Now a 3-0 count. And she'll take, that will be a strike. Takes a lot for a hitter at any level to try to swing at a 3-0 pitch. As a 3-1, that is fouled. Count full 3-2. Probably one of the hardest things to do, Chase, is lay off that pitch.
I think so, and sometimes you look down at your coach, and the coach is giving you the take sign. Maybe in the majors you can get away with swinging, and they're giving you a take sign. High school, not so much.
And the 3-2. This one sent to center. Right there to make the play is Proc now, 2 away. Aubrey Finn, the second baseman, had a great play on a ball that was sent on to center by Richter. That one was just kind of hanging. Finn got turned around, was able to put herself in position to make the final out in the top half of this inning. She is 0 for 1, grounded out in the first inning.
And West Fargo just made really good contact up and down the lineup here against Richter. I mean, if it's been an out, it's kind of been a loud out, so to speak, Joe. There hasn't been too many, jam shots or, 2-3 ground balls. It's been hit on a rope here today.
And a big swing through the 1-0 pitch for Finn. 1 ball, 1 strike, now the count. One fouled back. Count at 1-2. Richter looking to close the door here on this bottom half of the third inning. Fletchock, center. Pranty will all bat next. Top of the fourth for the Squirrels, trying to make a comeback down 5-0. And swinging through the pitch is Finn. Gets enough to stay alive. Count at 1-2. Nine and 2 are the Squirrels this year. 10-1 are the Packers. 1-2 fouled back.
Crazy to think 2 years ago, COVID, no spring. I know some Class B schools, Joel, they had the Impact League to try to get some games, maybe club a little bit. And to where we are now to see these programs, what they did last year, respectively, and back to the normal routine.
The 1-2 on the ground, picked up by second. Nice play to first. Great play by Fletchock to Nelson. 4-3 on the ground out. It is a 3-up, 3-down, bottom of the third inning. 3 complete here on our Bank North scoreboard. West Fargo 5, Central Cass scoreless. It's high school softball on yourliveevent.com.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
RDK Enterprises specializes in seed meter calibration, planter maintenance, and they have the full line of precision planting products. Call them at 701-636-2119 to schedule your meter, planter, and precision planting software repairs and update. This includes monitoring and control systems, all to help improve your planting, which means improved profits. It pays to plant with precision with RDK Enterprises. Locations in Hillsboro and Drayton, North Dakota, planterdoc.com, or call 701-636-2119.
We are back on yourliveevent.com through 3 complete innings for the Visited Squirrels. No runs, no hits, 1 error for the Packers. 5 runs, 4 hits, no errors. Grace Fletchock, Kate Sinner, Barb Pranty will bat this inning. But a strong performance. From Wary for the Packers. 3 innings, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk.
Number 9, Grace Fletchock.
Fletchock ended last inning with a great play at second on a 4-3 ground out. She is 0 for 1. And we'll take a pitch outside, ball 1. Chase mentioned last inning that COVID year where it was a wash of the spring season. Think about that spring. It's probably one of the best ones we've had in the last handful of years.
My dad said it perfectly, grilling burgers and hot dogs one day. I think it was May 1st, and it was a day like today, and going, how is this right? We all have to be stuck inside, but it's so nice outside. And, just unfortunate, no matter what type of spring sport up here in the valley, you just never know what Mother Nature you're going to get anytime it happens. There's talk about moving golf more to the summer. Obviously baseball gets talked about moving more this summer, but Legion programs up here, so it's tough. You just hope for days like this more often than not.
Here comes the 3-0 pitch. That is going to be ball 4. Fletchock's walked on a 4-pitch at bat, and that'll bring up Kate Sinner.
Number 30, Katie Sinner.
Fletchock did a nice job. Speaking of, making a nice defensive play starting off the inning, Joel, she second baseman today for both teams, have done a pretty nice job.
just the second base runner the Squirrels have seen, their last coming in the second inning. And that's 5 pitches outside the strike zone for Weary. Next one swung through, 1 ball, 1 strike.
We've seen some bats for Sinner when they're in Castleton where opposing teams will literally play a foot away from the wall because they're just expecting her just to clobber one sometimes.
She had 2 hits yesterday, has yet to record one today. Lays off one outside, 2-1 the count. And struck out to end the first inning. Murray set down the first 4 she faced. And the 2-1. Now 2 balls, 2 strikes. Going to run her at first, no one out. This one is going to be popped up over to shorts. And it's going to get by O'Husky, and it's down. Fletchock to second. Sinner will get first. First and second, nobody out. And that will be the first hit of the game as well for Central Cass. So 3 hitless innings for Weary will end its first and second. Nobody out, and could be a big inning for the Squirrels. Barb Pranty will come to the plate.
You talked about the wind, Joel, in our pregame show. The wind played a lot with that softball there.
And Pranty takes a strike. And that one just not a whole lot you can do once it hits that certain point and the wind comes in.
Well, Husky gave it a great effort. Just, she got turned around one too many times.
Next one lifted foul over the dugout at third. Count at 0-2.
And that one probably carried a little bit more than Husky thought. Off the bat, it looked like that was just going to be a routine pop-out, Joel, in the infield, but that got into the grass.
Again, first and second, no one out. Count at 0-2. Pranty puts one on the ground. It's picked up by Weary. Will throw to first. The ground out is 1-3. But Fletchock on to third, Sinner to second.
Talk about productive outs. And that's a productive out, essentially. Sacrifice bunt that comes there. And now a chance for Central Cass with another girl. Sinner and Nelson are the 2 girls that you don't want to leave something up in the zone because they can hit one far. So we'll see how Nelson attacks Weary here early in this at-bat, Joel.
And this one is going to get past Lick, and it's going to allow a run to score. Fletchock comes home on the pitch, and the first run is aboard for Central Cass. They trail 5-1.
Said it, too, after the first inning. Central Cass, you're not going to get all 5 runs back potentially in an inning, but if you can just kind of nickel and weigh your dime back, have a chance. And, as much as we talked about Weary being in the zone until, this particular inning where she's dealt with some traffic on the base pass, Richter has done a nice job, on the opposite side, throwing up some goose eggs here to allow her team to have a chance like this middle part of this game.
1-0 the count to Nelson. She did have a 2-run home run yesterday. She puts down a big swing, 1 ball, 1 strike. Weary, you're West Fargo. You're looking here just get out of this inning, minimal damage. You still have the lead. There is one away. But you're going to get tested. You're going to get tested against a team like Central Cass. As this one lined over to Vetter at first, and that will be the second out of the inning. Nice job by Sinner to stand pat. That one, little situations, Chase hit a little too hard to maybe try to take the opportunity to double up the runner at third.
Yeah, and that's like you said, Sinner staying close to third base. That's one where you just kind of assume sometimes as a batter it's going to get through.
Riley Holzer, the shortstop, fouls it back to the fence. She struck out back in the second inning. Inning started with a walk, then a base hit. Run scored on a wild pitch, and then a ground out and a line out to first. Another one sent back out of play. Behind the count is Holzer, 0-2 with 2 away.
Well, we've seen 0-2 counts work for the Packers, but they didn't swing until they finally swung through one that they liked. Holzer's 0-2, Joel, but a couple foul back to the backstop here.
And the 0-2 will miss. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
For a second there, I thought they were going to be the arm was coming up. It was so
I
close.
think
You kind
everyone
of
did.
hear the West Fargo fans go, ugh.
Everyone just kind of froze and waited for that call from the home plate umpire as the 1-2 comes in. That is outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Bottom third of the order. Coming up next for the Packers. Two called strike 3. Gets her 2 pitches later to end the inning. 5th strikeout for Weary. The Squirrels get a run. Also a hit, no errors, 1 left on. It is 5-1. Bottom third up next for the Packers, and we return. High school softball is right here on YourLiveEvent.com.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
Delia Osland leads off the inning for the Packers here in the bottom of the 4th. Packers lead 5-1. Game 1 of our doubleheader here on YourLiveEvent.com. Lays off a pitch outside. I believe it is a 2-0 count to the left fielder. 1-1's the count. And the ball is looped out of play, third base side.
This complex here, Essential Health Packers Stadium. You got track, you got the new turf, recently, Joel, for the football and soccer field. Softball right here, kind of what we've seen a lot for high schools, right? You get a lot of use out of your 1 or 2 blocks.
And Osland pops this one over to the third base side of the infield, and Sinner gets under it. That will be the first out of the inning, and I'll bring up Kendall Krenz, the right fielder.
Right fielder number 23, Kendall Krenz.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of, obviously Fargo and West Fargo have just growth in general, Chase, but the athletic facilities around this area have just vastly improved so much, really within the last handful of years, as the first pitch to Krenz is a strike.
And now everyone in, Fargo, Shanley had turf, and that was like, wow, Shanley has turf. Now everybody has turf, across the region.
And next one to Krenz, sent in the air to right field. This will get by Nelson. Krenz at least has 2, and that is where they'll hold her up. The second double of the game for the Packers. They have 4 extra base hits, their 5th hit of the game, and it's Grace Vetter, the first baseman, up next.
And West Fargo is just, their timing today has been on point. We haven't seen too many balls like that's been out in front early or hitting some down the line. They've done a really good job through their zone so far against Richter in the circle.
And Vetter's going to take a pitch for a ball. First hit of the game for the Packers was a double. In that inning, they also had 2 home runs to go along with it. Next pitch runs high in and out of the glove of Pranty, and that is going to allow Krenz to move on to third on the pass ball. So you have 5 hits, 4 of them for extra bases. Runner at third, 1 away. 2-0 the count to Vetter. Swings through the pitch, 2-1.
Well, if you take Richter's first inning away, Joel, she's done a pretty good job, since that, grand slam there in the first.
Ball takes a hop in the dirt. Kept in front of Pranty. 3-1 the count. Richter is gone. 3 1/3 innings. 5 runs, 5 hits, 2 strikeouts, a walk. Big swing and a miss from Vetter. Count full, 3-2. Three-two. Comes low for ball 4. Runners at the corners. Second walk issued by Richter, and it's back up to Kackman in the top of the order for the Packers.
Center fielder, number 21, Caitlin Kackman.
With the exception of there being 1 out, the sequence looking like how that first inning went. You had a double and a walk. Error also in the mix there. Ball chopped on to short. Holzer to second for the first out. On to first, won't get there. Krenz does come home, and it's a fielder's choice and a 6-1 game.
Really good play, though, up the middle again for Holzer, able to get it to Fletchhawk, even have a chance to turn 2. Most importantly, Joel, just to get that forced out at second. You know, that's a big out there and a chance for Richter to minimize the damage.
Marlick swings through the pitch, strike 1. Kackman at first on that fielder's choice. Yeah, both teams have shown some leather at their infield defense. Next one comes high. One ball, 1 strike to the Packers catcher with the runner at first. This one over to short. Holzer gets under it, will squeeze it for the final out of the inning. A run does score for West Fargo. 4 complete innings here on our Bank North scoreboard. Is West Fargo 6, Central Cass 1. You're watching high school softball on yourliveevent.com.
Hello, I'm Jim Berkemeyer, inviting you to join me on a New England Fall Foliage Tour, September 25th to October 3rd. Our journey begins with a tour of historic Boston. We then travel to New Hampshire's White Mountains to admire the spectacular colors before ending our journey in New York City with an included Broadway musical. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ, to learn more about this tour and watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
It's the concert event of the summer in the Brainerd Lakes area. Lakes Jam, June 22nd through June 25th at Brainerd International Raceway.
R&J Broadcasting is the presenting sponsor.
Experience Lakes Jam. For rock and rollers, the main stage features Tesla, Warrants, and Hairball. For country enthusiasts, John Party, Cole Swindell, Gabby Barrett, and Mark Wills. Experience watercross, drifting, and lawnmower racing. For on-site camping, lodging, and tickets, visit lakesjam.com.
Back on yourliveevent.com for complete innings. 1 run, 1 hit, 1 error for Central Cass. For West Fargo, 6 runs, 5 hits, no errors. Paige Wixo will lead off the inning. Taylor Severson batting next. Camry Nelson will bat. That is the 7, 8, and 9 of the Central Cass Squirrels batting order. Squirrels fell behind early. It was a 5-run first inning with a grand slam from Weary and a solo home run from Oslin. Central Cass has been playing catch-up ever since. Their only run coming last inning. Great Fletchhawk coming home on a wild pitch. First pitch he sees from Weary. This one brought in by the shortstop, Husky, for out number 1. So 1 away for Severson.
Number 13, Taylor Severson.
All of a sudden, the Squirrels batters have added a layer here, Joel. Kind of wearing that sweatshirt over top now.
Now getting more sunshine, but starting to feel a little bit more wind. First pitch is going to be fouled by Severson. 4 out of the 5 innings that we've played so far, Central Cass has started out the inning with 8 out, and most of them have been 1 or 2 pitches into the count, as this one is going to be lift foul out of play on the third base side. Severson behind in the count 0-1. Her last at bat led off the 3rd inning. That was a pop up to 3rd. Weary had a 1-2-3 first and 3rd inning. Ball comes low, 1-2, only allowing 3 base runners this game and just one hit. Other two getting on via walk. And the 1-2 low. Count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Something that Central Cass hasn't really done the last couple innings, Chase, is work the count.
Yeah, first pitch swinging, kind of trying to attack early against Weary.
Another one low, 3-2, and that's what Severson has done here, is laid off some pitches. Where he's 3-2, foul, third base side.
I'm going to miss by much. That was about a half a foot the other way from maybe going over the third base bag.
It's hard to believe. Both of these teams have played 11. These will be their 12th games they played this season, and we are this late into the season. As a 3-2, high and outside, a ball. Severson's aboard for the first time in this game. Third walk issued by Weary. I'll bring up Camry Nelson, the right fielder.
I think a lot of players and coaches know April 1st you're probably not going to get games in, or that first or second week of April. But once you get to mid-April, you're kind of wanting to get back into a rhythm, in your spring sport. It just hasn't really happened this year for these teams.
And a strike here on Nelson. Runner at first, one away. 2 straight innings for Central Cass with base runners aboard. They are down by 5. Bat off the shoulder, pitch called a strike. 0-2 now against Nelson, the right fielder. 0 for 1, a strikeout victim back in the 3rd inning. Now the 0-2 inside, 1-2.
West Fargo EDC tournament May 24th. Joel gets going, then State and Jamestown on June the 2nd in Class A here.
1-2, that one fouled and will come back towards the dugout at third.
On the opposite side, Central Cass, they only have one more regular season game or date after this, and then their tournament gets going a week from today, and Hillsboro's scheduled, barring, again, Mother Nature like this entire spring season.
And, just looking ahead at the next week to come with baseball playoffs for Class B coming underway as the 1-2 pitch gets outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes. We're already looking at potential weather situations. How they will impact play depends on the next few days. When we know we're not supposed to at least see some rain, is how well some of these fields can dry up. As the 2-2 pitch outside, 3-2. The fact that we had that cold weather come in, we had that snow come in, it froze a lot of ground, didn't allow for any of that rain to come through to really settle in, any of that snow to settle in. Now we've had a couple days where at least things feel like they can dry out as a 3-2 pitch inside. It's back-to-back walks from Weary. First and second, one away. Squirrels in business here, and we're going to have a meeting in the circle with the top of the order, and Tori Richter due up next.
I mentioned, Joel, before the last 2 batters for the Squirrels and Severson, taking some pitches. Central Cass was kind of working early in the counts and trying to get to Grace early, seeing if they can kind of ambush her. And now all of a sudden, back-to-back batters here for Central Cass, able to take 7-8 pitches, get runners on. And like you said, third time through the order. Is this the half inning for the Squirrels to try to put up a crooked number like we saw from West Fargo, back in the first?
Meeting will come to an end. Coach will come back to the dugout, and they'll bring up Tori Richter. Severson at second, Nelson at first, and I would imagine Chase Richter's going to lay off these first couple she sees.
Yeah, I think this is one where you like a certain part of the zone if the ball is there, but like you said, with what Weir's done, kind of being a little more erratic here this half inning, you got to make sure that she can throw a couple strikes in that zone back-to-back.
So here comes the pitch to Richter, and that will be low. Second straight inning, the Squirrels have had multiple base runners on. They've stranded 2. And the 1-0. That will miss 2-0.
And if you're Central Cass, you're just trying to find a way, Joel, to get the tie and run to the plate, right? I mean, I know you're down 5, but every time you get a walk, it gets one step closer in that lineup.
And the 2-0. This one will stay in the infield. Getting under it and grabbing it for the out is Finn. That is the second out. Richter will pop up. And 2 away for Grace Fletchock, the second baseman.
Big pitch there by Weary. 2-0 count. You'll allow Richter to swing through that zone, get the pop out. Now you're just one good pitch away from getting out of a little pickle here in the 5th.
Severson at second, Nelson at first. Pitch comes low, a ball. Marlick will, instead of throw, walks this one up back to her pitcher. Trying to kind of calm Weary down a little bit. Saying, hey, we got 2 outs. Let's just get out of this inning. And you got the top half of the upper portion of your batting order coming up next if you're the Packers. Ball is going to be popped up out of play. Right on top of the press box here. 1 ball, 1 strike.
If you didn't have a roof on top of us, Joel, you might have had a softball come into your scorebook, literally.
The athleticism or lack of may have been exposed on having to make a play on that one coming my way. As a 1-1 pitch, chasing this one high will be Fletchock. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 away. Weary a good pitch away from closing the door on this top half of the 5th inning. And the 1-2, strike 3. Fletchock down on strike 6, punch out for Weary. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the Squirrels strand 2. 3, 4, and 5 to bat for the Packers coming up next on YourLiveEvent.com.
The team at Maple River Grain and Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Grain and Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Thanks for being with us on YourLiveEvent.com. Game 1 of our doubleheader. I'm Joel Morgan, Chase Miller. Sophia Husky leads off the bottom of the 5th inning for the Packers and takes strike 1. West Fargo getting 5 runs in that first inning with 2 home runs, a grand slam and a solo home run, tagging on a run in the 4th. Well, for Central Cass, their lone run coming on a wild pitch in the 4th. This one hit sharply to Holzer at short. We'll scoop it up, goes to first, so Huskies out 6-3. First batter's retired, and it's Courtney Doctor, the third baseman.
What I really like by Holzer there, Joel, she got down to a knee. We've seen this a lot from her. Gets down to a knee, squares up the body, and if it does take a bad hop, she can at least keep it in front of her without going into short, center field or left center field. So really nice plays that we've seen from Holzer at short today.
And Doctor comes out swinging. We'll line this one or foul this one over to the fence.
Holzer and Richter, that's been a 1-2 combination for a lot of people in Class B, Region 1 area. They're going to be excited to see Holzer kind of leave in terms of that bulldog mentality in a lot of sports.
And you look at the success that Central Cass has had as the next one outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. The success that they've had with a lot of these same names coming from volleyball, basketball, now here on the softball diamond. I think you're right. Some Region 1 across all those 3 sports. Look for some of these players to graduate on as this one chopped to short will get by Holzer, and Doctors aboard first.
And on the opposite side for West Fargo, you look at a volleyball player that's going to play D1 volleyball in Texas, Nadia Fiakuski. We'll see here, Joel, in about a month here for the Optimist Volleyball Series. And West Fargo's had some pretty good standout athletes too on the girls' side, whether it's been hockey, softball, over the years as well.
Where he comes to the plate, takes a ball high. She is 1 for 2. That one was a big one, a grand slam back in the first inning. Doctor, by the way, that was her second time reaching base, her first hit of the game. Swinging through the pitch, Weary, 1 ball, 1 strike. Next one will tail inside, 2-1. We'll have coverage of Region 1 and Region 2, both baseball and softball, on yourliveevent.com. Waiting for some of those schedules, or some of those seedings to be solidified in this upcoming week as the 2-1 pitch. Pulled up by Richter, will throw to first and a double play. How about that to end the inning? A 1-3 double play, and the bottom of the 5th inning comes to an end. 5 complete on the Bank North scoreboard. West Fargo 6, Central Cass 1. We'll be back with more on yourliveevent.com.
RDK Enterprises specializes in seed meter calibration, planter maintenance, and they have the full line of precision planting products. Call them at 701-636-2119 to schedule your meter, planter, and precision planting software repairs and update. This includes monitoring and control systems, all to help improve your planting, which means improved profits. It pays to plant with precision with RDK Enterprises. Locations in Hillsborough and Drayton, North Dakota, planterdoc.com, or call 701-636-2119.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Back here on yourliveevent.com. West Fargo 6, Central Cass 1, top of the 6th inning. Center Pranty Nelson will bat for the Central Cass Squirrels. Squirrels have had their opportunities. They have stranded 4 base runners. Last inning had first and second with 1 away. Nice job by Grace Weary to get herself out of that inning. She has gone 5 innings, 1 run, 1 hit, 6 strikeouts, 4 walks. Sinner is 1 for 2. She actually got the first hit of the game for Central Cass. That was back in the 4th inning. And Chase, it was a ball that she hit over the head of shortstop Sophie O'Husky. And O'Husky made a valiant effort on that one, but the wind didn't really aid her in that one. But not maybe the first hit you would be expecting from Sinner to get.
No, Sinner, you expect one that goes about 200 feet, and it just kind of keeps traveling, or something that's hit on a rope, not a jam shot like that. But sometimes the old adage, Joel, better to be lucky than good, and sometimes that can help out the batting average a few points as well at the end of the season.
She is behind in the count, 0-1. Where he's pitch, outside, 1 ball, 1 strike.
Your Central Cass, you just hope that last half inning wasn't your last chance. On the opposite side, if you're Weary, you're like, hey, just keep attacking the zone, get 3 outs here, and we're 1 step closer to picking up game number 1.
1-1 is fouled back. Lick will shed the mask at the fence, gets it. Nice play to stick with it for the first out of the inning.
There wasn't a lot more real estate there next to the backstop, Joel, for her. I mean, she went all the way and had to come back and closer a step to the plate.
I think that's an instance where the Packers will take a gust at that point, because I think that brought that back into the field of play and allowed that first out. Pranty comes up, no one on, 1 away. Bat off the shoulder, pitch comes high. Ball 1.
Now, how did both coaches play game number 2 coming up? Do you go a little deeper in your bench, allow something, especially with West Fargo, conference game, a little bit later on, Central Cass, see what Scott does with his lineup.
And the 1-0, this one will be fouled back into the grandstand. a little bit of a last-minute decision to play this schedule the way it is, but, you know, having Devils Lake be a team that is just 2-4 on the season, they haven't played a lot of games, it makes that decision easier as a ball will be put in play. Weary off of the pitcher's circle onto first. Cranty's retired 1-3. 2 away for Peyton Nelson, the first baseman.
First baseman, number 28, Peyton Nelson.
It was a really good play. You know, those are tough ones for catchers and pitchers sometimes, and you got to communicate properly who's going to pick up the ball, who's going to throw it over to first, especially when it kind of gets that middle zone between the circle and the plate.
Pitch comes high, a ball. The Central Cass Squirrels down to their final 4 outs.
Weir's been very effective, though, today, Joel. You know, even though she last half inning walked a couple, she's been able to attack the zone enough, even though we've seen at times Central Cass be patient, but she's been able to attack the zone enough, and she's gotten out of, you know, a lot of jams or minimized anything, and Central Cass looks like they could have possibly get multiple hits or multiple walks across, and she's been able to find ways to make a good pitch.
This one should be playable in foul territory off of first for Vetter. She will snag this one. It's a 1-2-3, top of the 6th inning. Aubrey Finn will lead off the bottom of the 6th when we return. This is high school softball on YourLiveEvent.com.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
Hello, I'm Jim Berkemeyer, inviting you to join me on a New England Fall Foliage Tour, September 25th to October 3rd. Our journey begins with a tour of historic Boston. We then travel to New Hampshire's White Mountains to admire the spectacular colors before ending our journey in New York City with an included Broadway musical. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ, to learn more about this tour and watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
And Aubrey Finn comes out swinging here in the bottom of the 6th inning and hits one onto Prochnow in center. 1 pitch, 1 out. Start at the bottom of the 6th inning. Central Cass looking for a quick one here and gets the bats back in their hand for the top of the 7th and their last chance to try to make a comeback here in Game 1 of this doubleheader against the Packers. Delia Oslin, the left fielder, who has a solo home run, steps up here against Richter, gets a ball low.
In the softball world, Joel, you know, Summit League tournament went from Brookings to Vermilion with all that nasty weather. Came through the valley, you know, just 2 nights ago or last night as well.
And this one high in the air, foul territory.
What do we see? Castlewood, South Dakota really got hit hard. You know, Sioux Falls area, Brookings, they closed down the campus of South Dakota State, so you got to move a tournament to Vermilion. It's been that kind of a spring, man.
And the 1-1, this one fouled right along the line at third, and the young fans who caught the first one were walking back to return it, and the second one got by them. I imagine the extra steps needed to move an entire conference tournament at the collegiate level. And it's just unfortunate images coming out of those parts of South Dakota. Swinging through the pitch, Oslin. And she is retired for the second out, 2 away.
Right fielder number 23, Kendall Kren.
Well, if you want to take a positive, Valley City State making it to the next level, Joel, of their respective NAIA tournament as well.
Kendall Kren's a right fielder batting. Sends one hard in the air onto center, and this one over the fence. 3rd home run of the game for the Packers. Kren's with a 2-out solo home run, making it a 7-1 game. That one got out in a hurry.
Great swing by Krenz, and if you're Richter, Joel, going back on this one, you'll say, you know what, didn't pitch too bad, just gave up 3 long balls, and that's been the difference.
Yeah, 3 long balls and 4 extra base hits, so 4 of your 7 hits on the side of being for extra bases. And it's Grace Vetter, the first baseman. You know, that's 2 home runs coming from the bottom third of your order as well for the Packers. First pitch, strike 1 for Vetter.
Must be a little jet alley out there, Joel, because when it gets to center, left center, it's been really moving here today.
The 0-1 takes a hop in the dirt, 1 ball, 1 strike. And I said 4 extra base hits. Yeah, 2 of them from Krenz, 3 of them coming again that bottom third of your order. Vetter will swing through a pitch, 1-2. So to at least extend the game, Central Cass needs to find a way to get 6 runs in the top half of the 7th inning, but first they need to end this bottom of the 6th. Richter throws 1 inside, 2 balls, 2 strikes.
West Fargo's always done it, you know, throughout the years. They just keep on adding. You know, very rarely is it just 1 inning against teams. They just keep putting runners across, getting good hits, good contact.
2-2. This one's sent to left field, down for a hit. Vetter gets her first hit, and now it's the top of the batting order for West Fargo.
Center fielder, number 21, Caitlin Kackman.
Kackman led off that first inning with a double, eventually came home in that grand slam. 7-1 the score on our Bank North scoreboard. This one looped in the air onto right field. That's going to be a base hit. And a throw over to third, and Vetter's going to be safe. Coming from first to third, so Kackman gets a hit.
Vetter picked up Pat Johnson as she kind of rounded second. She hesitated for a moment, Joel, and I thought that hesitation was going to be enough for her to get thrown out at third base, but able to beat the throw at third. But as she kind of came around second, she looked at Pat, kind of gave the hitch in the giddy-up mode a little bit, and she did a nice job, though, scampering and getting an extra 60 feet closer to home.
It's the 9th of the game for the Packers, and that's Mara Lick, the catcher. Pitch comes inside, a ball. That is 3 straight hits. All those coming with 2 outs. Vetter at third, Kackman at first. 2-0 the count. Looped in the air to center. Should be playable for Prochnow. Prochnow gets the final out. For the Packers, it is a run on 3 hits, no errors, 2 left on. 6 complete innings. It is West Fargo 7, Central Cass 1. Final inning coming up next on YourLiveEvent.com.
It's the concert event of the summer in the Brainerd Lakes area. Lakes Jam, June 22nd through June 25th at Brainerd International Raceway.
R&J Broadcasting is the presenting sponsor.
Experience Lakes Jam. For rock and rollers, the main stage features Tesla, Warrants, and Hairball. For country enthusiasts, John Party, Cole Swindell, Gabby Barrett, and Mark Wills. Experience watercross, drifting, and lawnmower racing. For on-site camping, lodging, and tickets, visit lakesjam.com.
The team at Maple River Grain and Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Grain and Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
Thanks for joining us on YourLiveEvent.com on our Bank North scoreboard. West Fargo 7, Central Cass 1. 4 extra base hits for the Packers in this game, including 3 home runs, a grand slam, and 2 solo home runs. Packers have come up big in this game. Central Cass needing at least 6 runs to extend this one It'll be Riley Holzer, the shortstop, to lead off the inning.
Leading off the top of the seventh inning, the shortstop, number 5, Riley Holzer.
Grace Weary has pitched well this game, brought a no-hitter into the 4th inning. She has registered 6 strikeouts. Holzer has struck out twice. Swings at the first pitch, and that is lined to Oslin over in left field for out number 1.
That's probably been about the best contact we've seen from Central Cass today, Joel. Just unfortunately for the Squirrels and Holzer, it was right to the left fielder.
I'll bring up Paige Wixow, the designated player. I would imagine that's going to be a conversation between the Squirrels heading into the second game is, you know, how many outs, how many innings have they started with an out, and how many have been on the first or second pitch? You know, that one was a good swing for an out. Oslin had a good route on that ball, made a good play, but you know, you don't want to go longer in these at-bats. 1-0 pitch comes low, 2-0.
And, you know, in softball too, Joel, it's, you know, how you put your outfielders a little bit differently than baseball. You know, softball, you're kind of playing more down the line. You're going to give more to the gap in the alley a little bit with the center fielder covering that.
2-0 pitch. Skied in the air on the grass behind second, and sticking with it is Finn for the second out. Down to their final out is the Central Cass Squirrels.
Number 13, Taylor Severson.
It'll be Taylor Severson, the left fielder, representing the final chance for Central Cass. Squirrels on the edge of dropping their 3rd game of the season, would be their 2nd against a Class A school. 1 loss coming to Dickinson as it's strike 1 taken from Severson.
I believe that went 10 innings too last weekend, Joel, in Fargo. The 0-1, swung on a miss by Severson. Squirrels down to their final strike. Runs high, 1 and 2. Should Severson extend the inning, it'll be Camry Nelson, the right fielder. Comes the 1-2. Swung on and missed. Down on strikes is Severson. It is a 1-2-3, top of the 7th inning, and Weary's 7th punch out of the game. Our final score here on the Bank North scoreboard. It is West Fargo 7, Central Cass 1. Post-game show coming your way next on YourLiveEvent.com.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
RDK Enterprises specializes in seed meter calibration, planter maintenance, and they have the full line of precision planting products. Call them at 701-636-2119 to schedule your meter, planter, and precision planting software repairs and update. This includes monitoring and control systems, all to help improve your planting, which means improved profits. It pays to plant with precision with RDK Enterprises. Locations in Hillsboro and Drayton, North Dakota, planterdoc.com, or call 701-636-2119.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
Hello, I'm Jim Berkemeyer, inviting you to join me on a New England Fall Foliage Tour, September 25th to October 3rd. Our journey begins with a tour of historic Boston. We then travel to New Hampshire's White Mountains to admire the spectacular colors before ending our journey in New York City with an included Broadway musical. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ, to learn more about this tour and watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
We are back on YourLiveEvent.com. Our final score on the Bank North scoreboard: West Fargo defeats Central Cass 7-1. The line for this one: 7 runs, 9 hits, no errors for the home Packers. For the Squirrels, 1 run on 1 hit and 1 error. The Central Cass Squirrels stranding 4 base runners. 4 base runners would be stranded for the West Fargo Packers. Packers got things going early in the first inning. Caitlin Kackman led off with a double. Sophie O'Husky got on with an error, and then Courtney Doctor was walked. Grace Weary, who pitched very well in the circle, well, she helped out her own cause in a big way. She hit a grand slam to make it 4-0, and then 2 batters later, Delia Oslin hits a solo home run. It would be 5-0 West Fargo. Central Cass wouldn't respond with a run until the 4th inning. Grace Fletchock comes home on a wild pitch. It was a 5-1 game until the 4th. When Kendall Krenz would score on a fielder's choice. And then Kendall Krenz, she got a double that inning, would score on a fielder's choice. And then in the bottom of the 6th inning, hit a solo home run. Of those 9 hits, 4 were extra bases for the West Fargo Packers in this one. So 3 home runs, Weary of the grand slam, Oslin the solo home run, and Krenz a solo home run. Take away that first inning. Tori Richter did pitch well in this one for Central Cass. She takes the loss, goes 6 innings, 7 runs, 9 hits, 3 strikeouts, 2 walks. Well, Grace Weary goes all 7 for West Fargo. 7 innings, 1 run, 1 hit, 7 strikeouts, and 4 walks. She picks up the win in this one. Time now to name our RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. And this one, well, an easy choice. It will be Grace Weary for the West Fargo Packers. Gets the win, goes 7 innings on a 1-hitter with 7 strikeouts. Also at the plate, goes 1 for 3 with a grand slam in the first inning. So she is the RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. Now that you're planting, RDK Enterprises of Hillsborough and Drayton want you to have a safe and successful planting season. RDK Enterprises is here to provide the customer service and support of your precision plant equipment. Call 701-636-2119 for RDK Enterprises. Central Cass now 9-3 on the season. West Fargo improves to 11-1. Game 2 of this doubleheader set to begin in about 20 minutes. We're going to step aside, so this will be it for game number 1. Chase Miller will join you for game number 2. Thanks for joining us here. Our final again on the Bank North scoreboard: West Fargo 7, Central Cass 1. You've been watching high school softball on YourLiveEvent.com.
welcome to our Irie Insurance pregame show for game number 2 of the Twin Bill between the Central Cass Squirrels and alongside the West Fargo Packers here at West Fargo High School. I'm Chase Miller alongside Joel Morgan. In game number 1, the West Fargo Packers defeated the Central Cass Squirrels thanks in part to Grace Weary, a complete game, a 1-run against her, and a 7-1 win. Also a grand slam home run. In the first inning, Tori Richter picked up the loss. She threw a complete game of 6 innings. 7-1 the final in game number 1. The Squirrels will look to split, while the West Fargo Packers, this is game 2 of 3 today. At 4:30 this afternoon, West Fargo is scheduled to go up against the Devils Lake Firebirds. This is our Irie Insurance pregame show. For more information, go online to IrieINS.com. That is IrieINS.com. Joel Morgan called game number 1. Joel, what did you take from game number 1, and what do you expect here in game number 2? A lot of similar players, just maybe 1 or 2 position changes, but for the most part, we're going to be seeing a lot of the same talent here on display for game number 2.
Yeah, you're going to be seeing a lot of the same talent. You're going to be seeing a lot of the same bats. I think if you're Central Cass, what you're looking at is the quality of at-bats that you had. It took into the 4th inning to record your first hit. You had gotten a couple walks, but I really felt that they let off innings coming out swinging, and it kind of cost them. You know, they didn't get into the rhythm in the long run. So I think we're going to see longer at-bats.
Game number 2 officially gets underway for our first pitch at 12:50. Sunny skies, 73 degrees, and the wind doesn't feel like much compared to yesterday, but it's still a good breeze here in West Fargo. Game number 2 between the Squirrels and the Packers. That one is hit out of play. Now 0-2 in the count here to Tori Richter. Aubrey Finn in the circle here for the West Fargo Packers with a lick behind the plate. Richter will bat leadoff, followed by Grace Fletchock second, and Kate Sinner, the junior, batting third, the top of the order here for Central Cass. And the 0-2 pitch. Check swing. She went, yes she did, and that'll be out number 1 here to open things up, and nicely done by Finn. 3 pitches, all strikes, and she gets her opening strikeout.
You know, I talk about taking longer at bats and seeing more pitches, but you also, you know, that's that balance, that mental side of this game is you got to settle in more. You got to be more comfortable at the plate, and you don't want to overthink it. And that looked like maybe an at bat where Tori Richter maybe thought about every pitch maybe a little too much, especially on that last one.
Fletchock takes a ball, the first ball thrown here by Finn. Here's the 1-0 offering coming up to the sophomore center fielder in game number 2 for Fletchock. Played second in the first game, now center field in the second. Onslet in left here for West Fargo. Kackman in center, Krenz in right. Weary, the pitcher in game number 1, now at first. Doctor at second, Ohusky at short, and Vetter at third. The Packers under the guidance of head coach Pat Johnson. 2 balls, no strikes, and the pitch upcoming here. Good swing by Fletchock. Now it makes it 2-1.
You know, for both of these teams, I think regardless of the outcome of these 2 games that have been played, this will pay dividends down the road when you're into your conference tournaments, because this is the biggest test I think both of these teams have seen this season.
Here's the 2-1 pitch, and that one's going to be fouled back now 2-2. You take a look at the West Fargo Packers, their first game of the season against Fargo Shanley on April 29th. Had a couple weeks off then, Joel, because of Mother Nature. 1-run loss to Moorhead, but a lot of 5-inning games or 10-run rule games here for West Fargo in the EDC so far this season. Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way to Fletchock. That was hit up in the air, but foul. The center takes a couple steps back, and we'll do 2-2 all over again.
And in Central Cass, you know, they lost to Dickinson last week in a very close game against a very good Dickinson team, and they lost a 1 or 2 run game against Kindred Richland, a team that they're going to see in the region.
Here's the 2-2 pitch on the way from Aubrey Finn. And that one's going to be out of the zone now, 3-2. Really, in Class A, we know a lot about West Fargo softball. Dickinson and Minot, you know, they've had a championship each, but it always seems out west it's Dickinson. You know, it just feels like consistently for how we talk about the Packers and the EDC. Here's the payoff pitch. This one is fouled, and Joel gets your mid out. That'll be in front of us, and we'll do 3-2 all over again. But, yeah, Dickinson just always kind of seems to be that team you hear out year in and year out saying they're going to be a tough one from the WDA in Class A.
Yeah, and there was that year that they won state. It was just kind of everyone thought that they were the ones that were going to do it that year.
3 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out here in the top of the first inning. Thanks for tuning in to your live event here for high school softball coverage on this Saturday afternoon. 3-2 pitch. That will go to the backstop here, and it'll be a walk by Fletchock. So Finn strikes out Richter on 3 pitches and has a full count with Fletchock here. And Katie Sinner, the junior third baseman, steps up here with a runner aboard now for the Central Cass Squirrels.
Yeah, I think getting a run here early in this game and taking the lead will go a long way for Central Cass because I think it's just going to help build your confidence.
That one swung on and missed, now 0-1. So Sinner, as you mentioned, Joel, in the first inning of the first game, West Fargo plated 5 runs across, thanks in part to a Weary grand slam home run. That one's going to be missing on the outer part, so now 1 ball and 1 strike. And someone who's got power here is Sinner, and yeah, when you play ahead, and it doesn't matter baseball, softball, or any sport, you feel a lot comfortable as the game wears on. Here's the 1-1 pitch on the way by Finn. That one in there for a strike, now 1-2. Something we saw from Weary early for the Packers, got ahead of a lot of Central Cass batters early on in this game. Finn able to do that with Richter. Fletchock, a good battle as she walked at first. Now a 1-2 count here to Sinner. This one swung on and missed, and that'll be strikeout number 2 here for Miss Finn. 2 up in terms of outs, and now we bring up Barbara Pranti. Central Cass, it feels like them and Kindred Richland kind of been the 1-2 punch in the southeast part of the state in Class B in recent years. That one in there for a strike, and I even shouldn't say recent, Joel. Class B softball's only been around for about a decade now in terms of sanctioned in North Dakota.
Yeah, and I think, when we had East and West, it had a different feel, and now when you've trimmed that down to those 4 regions, it's going to make what was the East now Region 1. It's just gotten a whole lot tougher for these teams.
Central Cass 9-3 on the season. The West Fargo Packers at 11-1. West Fargo head coach Pat Johnson, Scott Costa head coach here for the Central Cass Squirrels. Kind of in his Johnny Cash attire today, all black from head to toe. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way by Finn. That'll miss on the outer part, now 1-2. Peyton Nelson due up next, the opposing pitcher, if Pranti can get aboard here, and the Squirrels try to move up and down the line with 2 outs in the top of the first on our Bank North scoreboard. 1-2 pitch. That one missing, now 2-2. Couldn't ask for a better day, though. I mean, recently in terms of getting outside, maybe getting your first suntan in a little bit, or your first sunburn of the spring into summer season here. Here's a 2-2 pitch. This one is hit in the air, and that's going to drop in front of the left fielder, Oslin. Everybody will move up 60 feet, and that one just kind of came out of the air, Joel, and just boom, came right down quickly. Oslin trying to make a shoestring catch, unable to do so. First hit here for Central Cass this afternoon.
Yeah, I think Oslin thought she had more time on that. She thought it went up a little bit higher than it did, and then before you know it, it just kind of keeps tailing, and falls right in front of you, and almost made a great play on it. She stuck with it to the end. But, ultimately that becomes a hit, and now they're going to get a courtesy runner for Pranti over at first and Haugen.
So Nelson comes up now for Central Cass with runners at first and second, as Haugen is the courtesy runner at first base now for the Squirrels.
Obviously it's a tactic to move the games along and to keep time going. And sometimes if your catcher's so athletic, they're going to stay on the base paths no matter what. But it does give an opportunity to get younger players real game experience, an opportunity to maybe, get in a little bit more speed. You get those almost base running specialists, usually underclassmen who haven't played a lot of varsity. That's their specialty coming off, is being those courtesy runner situations.
1 ball, 1 strike here. Pitcher against the opposing pitcher, Finn to Nelson. This one is hit in the air, and that's going to be to straightaway right center field to the track, and that ball is gone. Peyton Nelson with a 3-run homer to right center field, and the Squirrels take their first lead of the afternoon, 3-0 on our Bank North scoreboard.
Good swing, got behind that ball. That has been the sweet spot all day for the home runs we have seen. And that's going to be a whole big shot of confidence right now for Central Cass. They stranded 4 base runners last game. There were situations where I've seen their better hitters over the years perform better, and that's going to help them out immensely. Obviously, 3 runs is always going to help you out, but I think confident-wise is to get a home run with 2 outs.
Well, we've seen runs today, Joel, and the majority have been via the home run here for both teams. West Fargo hit 3, a grand slam, a pair of solo shots in their last contest. And little monkey see, monkey do. West Fargo with the big crooked number in this first inning, unlike West Fargo that had the grand slam in the first inning of game number 1. As Riley Holzer comes to the plate with a 1-0 count upcoming here. So West Fargo finds themselves behind in this game, something that the Packers over the years under Pat Johnson club or sanctioned softball rarely find themselves in. And now we talked about putting yourself in situations, Joel. West Fargo put themselves in a situation they haven't been too much of this season that's behind early in a ball game.
And you want to see that, before the playoffs. Is you want to see having to play from behind, having to have situations with the bases loaded, runners on the base paths, with maybe your best hitters not hitting their best. You want to get as much as you can, and a softball season you can play as much as 25 games before you even go to the playoffs. Now all of a sudden you got to find a way to get those situations on a shortened schedule.
4-pitch walk for Holzer, so the second walk here the first inning. Also something a little bit different for West Fargo, too. There are two players talking with Pat Johnson in between games a little bit here. Jolie said, hey, I have two starters, my normal left fielder and my normal pitcher's not here. One's with a graduation, one's at another event. So this is one of those things where you give some other girls some opportunities against a quality opponent. And, we talked about putting yourselves in situations. Pat Johnson will kind of see who some players who might normally be on the bench or come in for a courtesy runner, play a 7 full innings here this afternoon.
Man, you're going to need that come Region 1, come EDC tournament time.
Wixo, that one a good healthy rip, swung on and missed. Paige Wixo, the sophomore designated player here for Central Cass. Severson Nelson to round off the order. Then Prochnow is the flex player here as well for the Squirrels. Here's the 1-1 pitch. That one in there for strike 1 and 2. Something different between softball and baseball, Joel, that flex player that we talk about a lot. You see it in softball, not necessarily every lineup, but some lineups like to get that extra player. One maybe play more defense, so to speak, kind of like a designated hitter in what you would see in Major League Baseball. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Blocked at the plate by Lick. Nicely done to keep the runner at first, and Holzer makes the count even now at 2-2.
Yeah, unlike baseball where your designated hitter is typically just going to go for your pitcher. Maybe at the high school level not as much, but rarely do you see it, I think, at the high school softball level that your designated or your flex player is going to be, the designated player is going to be for your pitcher.
That one's foul back. So we've seen the Squirrels have really good at-bats up and down after Richter struck out on 3 pitches, hit a couple of fouled back, and then swung on and missed on pitch number 3. The full count walk by Crace Fletchock came in to score. Then a Prantty single followed by a Nelson homer. And the Squirrels right now with Wixo hits one. That's going to be to the third baseman Vetter, and that'll retire the side, but not before 3 runs come across on a couple of hits. No errors and 1 runner left on base. We go to the bottom of the first. The new score, the Squirrels lead it by 3.
It's the concert event of the summer in the Brainerd Lakes area. Lakes Jam, June 22nd through June 25th at Brainerd International Raceway.
R&J Broadcasting is the presenting sponsor.
Experience Lakes Jam. For rock and rollers, the main stage features Tesla, Warrants, and Hairball. For country enthusiasts, John Party, Cole Swindell, Gabby Barrett, and Mark Wills. Experience watercross, drifting, and lawnmower racing. For on-site camping, lodging, and tickets, visit lakesjam.com.
The team at Maple River Granite Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Granite Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
Chase Miller alongside Joel Morgan here on our Bank North scoreboard in West Fargo. It's Region 1 of Class B, meeting up the EDC in Class A here. So Class A, Class B, and high school softball. Make sure you check out locations in Bank North. For more information, go to ibanknorth.com or stop by their location in Castleton in the coming week. So after 3 runs across for Central Cass playing with the lead, they'll go up against Cackman, Lick, and O'Husky, the top of the order here for West Fargo, respectively, with an 0-1 count with Peyton Nelson working with their battering ram with Prantty behind the plate. Now 1-1. Sinner at third base, Holzer at short again, Richter at second, Prochnow at first. Camry Nelson in right field with Fletchock in center and Severson in left for the Squirrels. 1-1 pitch on the way by Nelson. This one is hit on the ground. A two-hopper. Richter gloves it over to first to Procknell 4-3 on the putout. That brings up Lick. Like the catcher, followed by O'Husky. You have Doctor, the second baseman, batting cleanup. Weary, Grace, the sophomore, big hit in the first game of the doubleheader. That grand slam homer in the first. Will be at first base here in game number 2 after being the complete game-winning pitcher. That one swung on and missed by Lick. Finn then batting 6th, followed by Krenz, Oslin, and Vetter here for the West Fargo Packers lineup. One out now in the bottom of the first inning. And the pitch, it'll be missing now. It'll be 1-1. Really the 1-2 combination this year for Central Cass. We're going to see Nelson and Richter, Richter and Nelson. The question is, once you get to a tournament time, and if you do have to have that third pitcher, where will Scott Koss go? I know he's been impressed with 1 or 2 freshmen, kind of saying they've taken what they've needed to do in JV, Joel, but now it's when do you give them varsity opportunities, and this year more than ever, there really hasn't been that opportunity to pitch because you just haven't had games.
Yeah, and those tournaments,
as Nelson gets the pop up there for 2 outs.
Those tournaments and those crossover tournaments, it's crossover events and those tournaments where you sometimes have games that overlap slightly, and you have your B squad going, your combination teams. You can ill afford to have that this year, and it'll be interesting to see what that does come tournament time.
Sophie O'Husky, the senior shortstop, will be stepping up here. West Fargo 2 down in the bottom of the first inning. Peyton Nelson will have a ball. Hasn't gone too deep into a count early so far in this first inning with Kackman Orlick attacking the strike zone, forcing the batters to take that bat off their plate. West Fargo really disciplined against Richter in game number 1. That one going to miss, and Nelson falls behind the count now 2-0. Really take a look at Richter's performance, Joel, in game number 1 again for those of us just joined us. Outside the 3 home runs, Richter had a pretty nice time in the circle as that one is fouled up. But again, bases loaded, you get the big 3-run homer, a couple solo shots, and Richter, you say ifs and buts always, but if you're able to take away that grand slam, it's a lot different of a ball game entering late in game 1.
You got to remember there was an error along the way to getting to that grand slam. How different does that inning look when you don't have what, should have been a routine play out to right field. If you make that out, you change the makeup of that inning. Do you get that grand slam opportunity? You pitch differently to the batter. So, put that into consideration as well.
2-2 pitch to a Husky, misses out of the zone. So the first full count here for the Packers batters against Peyton Nelson. Nelson, 3 balls, 2 strikes. Got Kackman on a ground out, Lick on a pop out, trying to retire the side here. This one is going to be popped up, and we'll see if the wind plays any factor here. And the right fielder, Camry Nelson, calling off Richter to glove it. 3 up and 3 down here in the bottom of the first inning. 1 inning complete here from West Fargo. We go to the top of the second. Squirrels coming to bat.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
RDK Enterprises specializes in seed meter calibration, planter maintenance, and they have the full line of precision planting products. Call them at 701-636-2119 to schedule your meter, planter, and precision planting software repairs and update. This includes monitoring and control systems, all to help improve your planting, which means improved profits. It pays to plant with precision with RDK Enterprises. Locations in Hillsboro and Drayton, North Dakota, planterdoc.com, or call 701-636-2119.
Chase Miller, Joe Morgan, 1 inning complete. The difference maker so far being the 3-run homer from the Central Cass Squirrels in the top of the first. That 3-run homer by the pitcher, Peyton Nelson, in the circle on for her second inning of work here for a Central Cass in the bottom of the second. But right now for Central Cass, they will send Severson, Nelson, and Richter 8, 9, and 1 batters to the plate here for the Squirrels in this second inning. Game that started at 12:50. Game number 1 was a final of 7-1. Good pitching, and really, Joel, in softball, sometimes you talk about putting runners on, getting steals, something that Central Cass wants to do a lot of. They just couldn't put themselves in that situation, falling from behind early. They just couldn't really take the chance to afford, runners getting thrown out around the plate.
Yeah, they've always been active. They've always pushed. They've always taken that extra step, and they have the athletes who do it. And I just didn't get that last game.
As Severson takes a 1-1 count here to open things up in the second inning. 1-1 offering on the way here by Finn. And the pitch. This one is fouled, and we might get one yet in this press box. We've had a couple very close today. Now 1 and 2. I've seen some places where they have the overhang with the nets now for some high school softball complexes. Whereas fans, you just don't have to worry about anything. Swung on and missed. So just like the first inning, Finn gets a strikeout to start the second inning and one down now in the top of the second.
Yeah, nice pitch. Just ran that one low and inside. Put that in a position where it's tempting to swing at, and it worked out in her favor.
Camry Nelson, the junior right fielder, steps up now. Outer part of the plate by Finn, and 0-1, and that's something that Weary did a really nice job of, Joel, in game number 1, that outer lower knee part of the zone. She was attacking that early and got a lot of batters out on that particular pitch, either the ground out or the strikeout. This one is going to be popped up and back, and now we'll be 0-2.
Yeah, and being able to hit that part of the strike zone when you have a nice lead, obviously there's a lot you can do when you have a nice lead, but when you have a team that gets a little bit in desperation mode and wants to start making up those runs, if you can consistently hit that part of the plate, it's going to really work out in your favor.
1-2 pitch on the way by Finn, looks into lick, and that one will run off the plate now, 1 and 2. Central Cass, in terms of sanctioned tournaments in North Dakota, there's been 9 of them. The Squirrels have been to every one at the Class B level, dating back to 2012. Here's the pitch. That one outer part of the plate. We just talked about that zone, and Aubrey Finn able to paint it for the back-to-back strikeouts here in the second inning.
Now, she's done a great job coming out here this inning, trying to make up for last inning. It's just a great job hitting her places.
So 4 strikeouts now for Finn as the leadoff batter Richter struck out her last time up, takes one in the dirt. Now 1-0. The Squirrels, though, 5 state titles in 2013, 15, 18, 19, and 2021. They won 3 straight. The COVID year, no one was able to, play in 2020 there. But the Squirrels, they have had their thumbprint on Class B softball. This one's going to miss out of the zone. Crazy to think, Joel. Kindred Richland, they've won 3, and then Enderlin Maple Valley, the co-op, won the original in 2012. So Class B, this area, this region of the state's been very, very rich in terms of players and teams.
And again, I think when you take away the East and the West and you go back to that region structure, it's going to change a lot. It's going to give a lot of other programs opportunities, I think, because of just how strong the East was going into state every year.
Tori Richter ahead in the count. See if she gets the green light on 3-0. Richter gives it a good rip. That's going to be a strike. Now 3-1. If Richter's able to get aboard, Grace Fletchock would be the next batter. Fletchock started things off for Central Cass in the first with a 1-out walk and came in to score on that 3-run homer by Peyton Nelson. There's the 3-1 pitch from Finn. This one is hit in the air and a line drive in front of the left fielder, Oslin. Rounding first is going to be Richter, and she'll try to get a 2-out rally now with a runner on here at second is Tori Richter as Grace Fletchock comes up to the plate.
Center fielder number 9, Grace.
West Fargo in the first game hit very well with 2 outs, especially late in that game. And Central Cass a little bit here flipping the script, I think, at least getting a runner here with 2 outs, which I don't believe they were able to do last game.
Fletchock and a hit and run opportunity here. She hits one to short center field, and Ohusky comes on at shortstop there to retire the sign. So no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. Inning and a half complete here from West Fargo. We go to the bottom of the second. It's the Squirrels up by 3.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
Going to the bottom of the second inning, the Central Cass Squirrels and the West Fargo Packers. To lead things off here will be Courtney Doctor, Weary, and then Aubrey Finn on our Bank North scoreboard. 3-0 Central Cass. The Packers will try to get their first base runner here. And, well, one pitch hits the batter as Courtney Doctor will take first base.
Yeah, obviously just a pitch that got away from her. Nothing intentional on that. But the error in the first inning of last game, Packers made Central Cass pay on that one pretty quick. Now you're going to give them a free base runner this inning. You know how well the Packers can capitalize on those opportunities.
Especially with the batter. Weary had the grand slam in the first. She comes up here with a runner on and would like to hit one into that, alleyway between left center and right center field where we've seen the ball really get up and dance here. Here's the 1-0 offering on the way by Nelson. That one on the outer part, now 1-1. Finn is due up next. That's the number 6 batter, the opposing pitcher. Krenz, Oslin, and Vetter to round off the lineup again for the West Fargo Packers here on this Saturday afternoon. Here's a pitch in there for a strike, now 1-2. As much as we talked about the success last half inning, Joel, for Central Cass, West Fargo, if you see success in a dictionary in softball, the Packers have been there throughout Pat Johnson's time here from club to sanction. That one swung on and missed, went out of the zone to Grace Weary, and Peyton Nelson picks up her first strikeout of the afternoon.
Yeah, she had already made up her mind that she was going to swing at the next pitch that came out there. That one, she took a little bit off of it, just the right break, the right wind coming through there on that one, and she had already committed to that swing.
Aubrey Finn, first pitch swinging, hits one foul up the first baseline out of play, and 0-1. Back to the success, though, by the Packers. 12 state tournament appearances since it's been sanctioned in North Dakota back in 2009. 10 titles. They've won in 09, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 19 is their last one here for West Fargo. This one's going to be hit on the ground, possibly a double play, and then instead it's going to be thrown into right field as Camry Nelson backs it up, throws to third, trying to get the runner there, not in time, and the Packers will take advantage of an error, and they'll have runners in scoring position now as Doctor scampers to third. Aubrey Finn gets aboard now at second in the first error of this contest. While Holzer to Richter, we'll see if that costs the Central Cass Squirrels as Scott Koss will come out here and have a little conference call on the mound with one out now. And to your point, Joel, he said, in the first game, West Fargo made the Squirrels pay when they had one bad play. And all right, they're able to run the bases really nicely. Nelson in right field did a nice job covering, but by the time she threw it in, that allowed Finn then to go from first to second base here for West Fargo.
Yeah, and, I think that Doctor came off the bag at first a little bit quicker than what Holzer had anticipated. Holzer played the ball well, looked up and realized that she was right there. And, you'll settle for the out. You'll settle for the lead runner being retired. She still had double play in mind, put a little too much on that trying to compensate, and that's what ends up happening on that play.
This one's going to be a wild pitch, gets by Pranty, and the West Fargo Packers get their first run of the game. So self-inflicted wounds right now by Central Cass has allowed West Fargo to get their first run coming in. Is Doctor from third. Finn will go to third base, and now Kendall Krenz will work with a 1-0 count here for the freshman right fielder against Peyton Nelson.
Yeah, there's nothing better than wearing a pitch and eventually finding your way home.
It didn't take long either, by the way. So Doctor able to get the first run of the game for West Fargo. They're trailing it by 2, but the tying run is at the plate right now. And this one's going to be hit in the air and over the second baseman, Richter. That's going to be an RBI single, and the answer to the question, will they make them pay, is yes. The Packers are back within 1. So Finn comes in from third. That's going to be a base knock now for West Fargo. as they're able to get that board. So you've got the hit, got the air, and now you got the runner at first base, and this will get by the catcher as well. And all of a sudden, Joel, in the first inning, Peyton Nelson was attacking the zone. We've seen a little bit of a wild pitch and seen some more pitches on the plate here and force Pranti to really earn her billing here in the second inning. Here's the 0-1 offering coming up to Oslin, the sophomore left fielder. Then it's Vetter and back to the top of the order for the Packers. This one fouled back, now 0-2. Runner at second base now for West Fargo. That again is Krenz. She was able to advance after the wild pitch. We talked about both teams were going to get tested in different ways here today, and that's what Central Cass is getting right now with West Fargo. Able to earn the strikeout. The second one of the inning here for Central Cass as Oslin is retired, but Grace Vetter will come up with the tying run in scoring position. Regardless for West Fargo, a good bottom half of the second, getting a couple of runs, but a chance to tie it up here before we get to the third. This one is fouled, and look out. A good catch in front of us. Hit the very top of the fence, and Joel, I thought we might have had a chance for you to show off your catching skills in game number 1 and game 2 here today.
Yeah, that went a little bit of a redirection and fell a couple rows in front of us, but right off the bat was right at us.
That's going to be 0-2 in the count. I know you're a big hockey guy. You love those redirection goals, maybe not so much foul balls in softball, though.
Yeah. If it wasn't for redirection, I wouldn't have very many goals to my name to begin with.
No balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Nelson trying to get her third strikeout here of the inning, and that'll retire the side. So Nelson gets 3 strikeouts in the inning, but not before. The Packers scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There is an error. 1 runner left on base. 2 complete, but a new score here in West Fargo. It's the Squirrels 3, the Packers 2, Central Cass coming to bat.
Hello, I'm Jim Berkemeyer, inviting you to join me on a New England Fall Foliage Tour, September 25th to October 3rd. Our journey begins with a tour of historic Boston. We then travel to New Hampshire's White Mountains to admire the spectacular colors before ending our journey in New York City with an included Broadway musical. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ, to learn more about this tour and watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
It's the concert event of the summer in the Brainerd Lakes area. Lakes Jam, June 22nd through June 25th at Brainerd International Raceway.
R&J Broadcasting is the presenting sponsor.
Experience Lakes Jam. For rock and rollers, the main stage features Tesla, Warrants, and Hairball. For country enthusiasts, John Party, Cole Swindell, Gabby Barrett, and Mark Wills. Experience watercross, drifting, and lawnmower racing. For on-site camping, lodging, and tickets, visit lakesjam.com.
Top of the third inning on our Bank North scoreboard. Central Cass leads by a run. Chase Miller, Joel Morgan with you here in West Fargo. A game that's just over a half hour old. Game number 1 for those just joining us. The Packers won it by a 6 in favor of 3 home runs in that contest. And so for the difference maker in this one has been the one home run by Peyton Nelson in the first. But West Fargo scores 2 in the bottom of the second. They get a little bit closer. Now it's Central Cass with the heart of the order. Center, Pranti, and Nelson, 3-4-5, due up here in the third inning. And throwing a strike is Aubrey Finn.
You feel better if you're Central Cass. You're going to give up runs against a team like West Fargo. You're still ahead, but you feel more confident at the plate after the way that first inning went.
Here's the 0-1 offering. Center struck out. This one is hit up the right field line, but slicing foul. And it'll be 0-2. Tell you what, the one nice thing with the rain, the grass looks great. It's just you can't mow it because it's been so wet at particular times. That irrigation coming through, and then obviously planting around the Red River Valley. It's been a different ball game talking and seeing the fields. This one fouled. Now 0-2. Speaking of planting, we'll get to our RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. Check them out today by calling 701-636-2119 or stop by their locations in Hillsboro and Drayton. Here's the 0-2 pitch on the way by Finn to center. That one missing on the outer part, now 1-2. So the Central Cass Squirrels trying to get maybe 1 or 2 of those back here in the dangerous part of the lineup. And the pitch. This one is hit high in the air. Playable, though, for the center fielder, and the left fielder will come in. Oslin in front of Kackman for out number 1.
There's good communication between those two out there. It looked like they were going to cross pass at some point, and one called off the other and heard it clearly and was able to pull back. We saw in the first game that the lone error that came for Central Cass came in a situation where just neither player was able to hear the other.
One out now, top of the third as the sun is making its way back, peeking from behind the clouds. This one is hit right up the middle. One pitch, one hit here for Pranty. So Pranty, her second hit of the game, and we'll see if she gets a courtesy run for, and she does, as for the Central Cass Squirrels.
Courtesy runner at first
will be
base,
coming up.
number 2, Olivia Haugen.
So Haugen will be back at first base here, and Haugen scored
Nelson.
On the home run by Nelson in the first. In the pitch. That one missing for her ball, now 1-0. Kind of like Pranty, though, Joel, 2 at-bats, and she didn't waste much time there. First pitch after going 2-2 her last time up, able to go right back up the middle. There's the 1-0 offering by Finn. Good rip on the way there by Nelson. That'll be 1-1. Central Cass 3 in the first, scoreless in the second. West Fargo scoreless in the first, 2 in the second. And the pitch. This one is hit foul, and we'll keep Nelson alive here. Now 1-2 in the count. After Nelson, you have Holzer, Wixo, and Severson. Finn looks in to lick behind the plate. In the 1-2 pitch. This one on the outer port. Now 2-2. We mentioned about the running. Haven't seen Central Cass go for a stolen base yet, but getting a good secondary lead is Haugen at first. Lick paying a lot of attention to the base runner right now. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That strike 3 looking. The 5th strikeout of the afternoon here for Finn. Her first since the last inning where she had a pair to start off the second. And now there's 2 down here in the third as Riley Holzer drew a walk her last time up. Comes on with a runner at first base.
Yeah, Finn just came right at her. And, didn't shy away even after giving up that home run last inning.
There's the pitch by Finn. That'll miss on the outer part of the plate. Now 1-1. Finn so far 2 2/3 innings of work. There's been 4 hits against her, 3 runs. You have a pair of walks and 5 strikeouts. So she's done a little bit of everything in the circle so far. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one missing on the outer part. Now 2-0. Holzer drew a 4-pitch walk, so she's seen 6 pitches and she hasn't had the bat leave her shoulder. There's the 2-0 offering by Finn. That one missing on the outer port. Now 3-0 with Paige Wixo, the designated player, sophomore, due up next for Central Cass. Story of today in West Fargo has been the home run. 3 in game number 1 for West Fargo, 1 so far here for the Squirrels. Pitch in there for a strike. Now 3-1. See if Holzer takes the bat off her shoulder this time, or if she'll try to draw her second walk of game number 2. Swung on and missed. That'll make the count full. So leaving from first base will be Haugen. She'll get an extra step or 2, and Holzer now finds herself with pitch number 6 of the at-bat here with Aubrey Finn. Payoff pitch from Finn. That one missing on the outer part of the plate. The runner will scamper down to second base regardless, and that is walk number 3 here by Central Cass.
And she's established her pitching sequence, has established what she wants to do, and it's now for the Squirrels batters to, to use their talent, use their eyes at the plate, and that was that situation where she's hit that low part of the strike zone. She's thrown that tempting stuff and able to lay off it and get runners at first and second now.
Wixo comes up. Wixo worked the count to 2-2 her last time up. She takes a ball. Now 1-2. Batter number 5 here in the top of the third inning for Central Cass. Wixo, number 7 in the lineup. Runner at second base is Haugen. Runner at first is Holzer. And the Squirrels trying to get a base knock here and possibly get a run across. That'll be in there for a strike. 1-1. Weary at first, playing a little bit in. The same with the third baseman, Vetter. A couple feet in. At third base, trying to take that bunt away or that short, possibly grounder away from Wixo. 1-1 pitch. That one's going to be up now, 2-1. Squirrels 9 wins on the season, 3 losses. For the West Fargo Packers, 11-1. Here's a 2-1 pitch upcoming. That one swung on and missed. Wixo tried to connect with a softball a little late though, Joel, and now it's 2-2.
Yes, just saw something she thought she could go the other way with.
Wind just blowing straight almost down from the plate down the left field line. 2-2 pitch, foul, and then we'll see pitch number 6 of the at-bat upcoming.
Now you look at the space right now that she has out in right center, and just something on the outside part of the plate. You want to get that gap. You know, it's going to take a while for those outfielders to get there, and that's what she's looking for here in this at-bat.
2-2 pitch hit up the right field line, but foul, getting closer to the tennis courts. And we'll see it 2-2 all over again. Graduation's not too far away for a lot of high schools in our viewing audience in the Red River Valley here, especially Fargo Metro as well, which means postseason and state track and field. 2-2 pitch, well, goes to right, and the right fielder, Krenz, does a nice job playing the wind, and that'll retire the side. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left. 2.5 complete in West Fargo. The Squirrels up by 1 with West Fargo coming to bat.
The team at Maple River Granite Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Granite Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Going to the bottom of the 3rd inning here as the West Fargo Packers sending the top of their order 1, 2, 3 batters, Kackman, Lick, and Ohusky. Caitlin grounded out to Richter at second, her last time up to open things up. This one is smashed past the first baseman, Prochnow. And that's going to be in there. Then the throw by Nelson's going to be overthrown, but it goes to Pranty. So it's going to be a base knock here for Kackman, and the Packers get their leadoff runner on here in the 3rd. Second hit of the afternoon, and that one was hit on the screws. Prochnow in on first. The same for the third baseman, Sinner at third. We'll see how West Fargo wants to play this in terms of situation. Looking to bunt this one up the third base line and foul. And Joel, this is something we just haven't seen a lot just because of the score of game number 1 and West Fargo getting ahead so much. We didn't really see small ball in terms of hit and runs, stealing bases, trying to sacrifice bunt, move people up here. And we'll see what Pat Johnson puts on for a play here after a strike.
Yeah, already showing bunt, already has a little bit of an adjustment coming from the infield.
As Lick, 0-1 in the count, tries to bunt now, 0-2. Ours going to scamper down here, and that's going to be a strike, but was not a foul tipped, so that'll allow the runner in Kackman to get the stolen base now.
Yeah, I think everyone had kind of let up, shoulders relaxed, thinking that that was tipped. And that's what allowed her to advance on to second.
So Nelson works ahead, 0-2 in the count. Now with the runner in scoring position. Lick popped up to Nelson her first time up back in the first. Nelson so far 2 innings of work, 2 hits against her, 2 runs, a walk, and 3 strikeouts. And the pitch. This one is hit in the air, popped up, and it's going to be to the shortstop, Holzer. And that'll be 1 out now in the bottom of the 3rd inning. So a Husky comes up. She popped up to Camry Nelson in short right field to close off the bottom of the 1st inning. And then after her, it's Doctor. Peyton Nelson, Tori Richter, kind of been that 1-2 combination throughout the year for Scott and the Squirrels. We've always talked about this, but once you get to tournament time, more so in baseball than softball in terms of, having arms and length of stretch of pitchers. Nelson 1-0. This one is popped up. That's going to be foul. Will it stay in play? No, it won't, and that'll be a long strike. But if you can have two dominating pitchers, Joel, at the softball game, you're going to have a chance to win a lot of softball. In baseball, you have two dominant pitchers. Then you kind of got a bracket where you're trying to get innings, so to speak, coming out of in baseball.
Yeah, the strategy becomes different, especially when you're battling a pitch count. Where you're right, softball you get two great arms and you can use them, maximum capacity that you need to when you want to make a run through a tournament.
That one outer part of the zone there by Nelson, so now ahead in the count here on Husky. Runner at second is Kackman, and the pitch swung on and miss, and Nelson gets the 4th strikeout here of the afternoon against these Packer batters, and Courtney Doctor is due up next.
Yeah, Nelson just running the ladder on that, coming up, knowing that she's trying to find something that she can drive deep to the outfield.
Doctor walked with a run scored in the second. That one's going to go to the backstop on the wild pitch, and Kackman got a single, stolen base, now advances to third on the wild pitch. So I think the next thing, Joel, will be a pass ball to allow her to come in if you're playing the 60 feet stationary kind of base running game. Prantey has been behind the plate for game 1 and game 2 here for Central Cass. Nelson, the 1-0 pitch. This one is hit in the air, and that one's going to go to left fielder, and Severson is there to retire the side. Good hit by Doctor, but just right to the left fielder, and that'll retire the Packers here in the third. No runs on one hit, no errors, and one runner left on base. We go to the top of the 4th inning. Squirrels up by 1.
RDK Enterprises specializes in seed meter calibration, planter maintenance, and they have the full line of precision planting products. Call them at 701-636-2119 to schedule your meter, planter, and precision planting software repairs and update. This includes monitoring and control systems, all to help improve your planting, which means improved profits. It pays to plant with precision with RDK Enterprises. Locations in Hillsborough and Drayton, North Dakota, planterdoc.com, or call 701-636-2119.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
To the top of the 4th inning on our Bank North scoreboard, Central Cass leads by 1. Bank North offers the traditional and advanced products and services that keep you grounded and ahead of the curve in today's fast-paced world. For farming and ranching, business and consumer banking and lending, you'll always be ahead in the right direction with Bank North. For more information, go to ibanknorth.com. That's ibanknorth.com to find a location near you. So for the Central Cass Squirrels, they'll be sending their 8, 9, and 1 batters up here, just like they did in the 2nd inning, scheduled in the 4th. Taylor Severson, Nelson, and Tori Richter. This one going to be in there for a strike. Aubrey Finn on for her 4th inning of work for the Packers. 0-1 in the count with Finn. Lick behind the plate. Righty versus righty on the pitch. This one foul back now, 0-2. Weary at first, Doctor at second, O'Husky at short, Vetter at third, Oslin in left, Kackman at center, and Krenz in right here for the Packers in the field. 0-2 pitch upcoming by Finn. That one will be in the dirt now, 1-2. Joel, outside of that first inning and that 3-run homer, kind of the same like we talked about Richter in the first game here. Finn's done a nice job settling down here in the 2nd and 3rd innings. We'll see what happens in the 4th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here to Severson, who struck out her last time up. That one missing out, now 2-2. After 7 batters came to the plate in the first inning for Central Cass, 4 in the 2nd, 5 in the 3rd. And Severson, 2-2 in the count, as the wind is starting to pick up a little bit here. 2-2 pitch. This one is hit down the left field line foul. And the 10th that was up the left field line looks to be all right, but that one's really humming along a little bit more than what we saw in game one for that wind gust.
You saw Finn. She lost her footing there for a second to coming in to come home just because that wind gust.
All of a sudden, you see the dirt blowing around a little bit as well. Going up to Mayville yesterday for a softball game, there was some topsoil getting blown across the countryside. Here's the 2-2 pitch. This one missing. So after falling behind 0-2 in the count, Severson has made the count full here. Finn, 3 walks, 5 strikeouts, has given up 4 hits so far as well, and 3 runs. Here's the 3-2 pitch. This one is hit in the air, foul, and Severson almost went right back to that same area up the left field line. West Fargo, after this game is done, around 4 o'clock this afternoon, we'll play a game with Devil's Lake here at West Fargo. They go to Cheyenne for a doubleheader on Monday, followed by a game at Red River on Tuesday. And the pitch, this one is going to be popped up, foul. And again, they want to find a way to get a softball in this press box this afternoon, and awfully close. Then West Fargo finished off the regular season with the game against the Jamestown Blue Jays on May the 20th. So very busy time for the Packers and Pat Johnson here in the next week. Here's a 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and Finn gets her 6th strikeout of the afternoon. 1 down now in the top of the 4th.
That was a battle of an at-bat on both ends.
Right fielder number
And again, that
15,
was what
Cameron
Central Cass
Nelson.
wasn't doing in game one, was having long at-bats, wasn't fouling off pitches, wasn't driving the count. Obviously, it didn't go in the Squirrels' favor, but something that they weren't doing.
Camry Nelson 0 for 1 with a strikeout, looking her last time up. So 8-9 batters, 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts right now against Finn here for the Squirrels. Well, it goes back to the top of the order with Tori Richter, who's 1 for 2 today with a single. She is the on-deck batter. Nelson, 1-0. Takes a ball now 2-0 to the junior right fielder. The Squirrels and the Packers here late in the spring season in terms of the traditional calendar, but doesn't feel like that with the amount of games that these teams have played by any means. Just a week ago, Joel talking with Scott from Central Cass saying, hey, it's finally good to see on the softball field. At that point, the Squirrels only had about 6-7 games, this time a week ago. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Swung on and missed, now 2-2.
Now, 6-7 games, that's your regular conference schedule during the week, and then a weekend jamboree or tournament that you pick up on.
And some of these, both conference games or region games, Class A, Class B, 2-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and Finn able to get her 7th strikeout now. She's punched out back-to-back Severson and Nelson in the 2nd and the 4th as Tori Richter comes to the plate. But some games that have been played earlier in the year might be 2-point counters now because they just can't get that game in. So it just goes to show when you can get games in how valuable they might be able to do. And in the winter, Joel, we had almost every week there was a day of blizzards or school's not happening, so schedules were getting moved around, but not like what we've seen here this spring. Tori Richter singled her last time up, gets ahead in the count now, 2-0 to Finn. Finn, 3 of the 4 outs that she's recorded, last 4 have been via the strikeout here for the Packers. This one is hit on the ground, a slow roller to Doctor at second, and that one is going to be an error on the throw. So Doctor went to Weary, but after Doctor released the softball, you could just tell immediately it was going right to the ground, and Weary tried to get there. That's going to be an error here on the Packers.
Number 9, Grace.
Yeah, and I believe they're first of the day.
So 2 outs now. Can Central Cass get a little 2-out rally going here at the top of the order with Fletchock? Walked with a run scored in the first, popped out to the shortstop. First pitch swinging. She hits a grounder to the third baseman, goes to first, and not in time. So Vetter looked to second, but with Tori Richter's wheels hustling down, that little freeze frame, Joel, allowed Fletchock to get to first in an infield single. Otherwise, if Vetter would have went to first base immediately, probably would have been in time to retire the side.
Yeah, and I think that's a matter of losing track of the situation. Realize you don't have to care about what the lead runner is going to do. you get the out at first, you end the inning, and just wasn't able to recover quick enough.
Squirrels will go first pitch swinging here for center. 6-3 on the putout. Husky to Weary. That'll retire the side. No runs on one hit, one error, and 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 4th inning with a 3-2 lead here for Central Cass.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
Hello, I'm Jim Berkemeyer, inviting you to join me on a New England Fall Foliage Tour, September 25th to October 3rd. Our journey begins with a tour of historic Boston. We then travel to New Hampshire's White Mountains to admire the spectacular colors before ending our journey in New York City with an included Broadway musical. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ, to learn more about this tour and watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
5, 6, and 7 batters due up next for the West Fargo Packers here in West Fargo in a non-region or non-conference game, depending on how you call it, if you're a Class A or a Class B fan. This one, Grace Weary follows it, now 0-1. I know, Joel, across state lines, they do it a little bit different in Minnesota. When you play teams, it's always a doubleheader, no matter if it's a sectional game. Speaking of a different way to call a conference game, everyone has their own terminology. But here are some non-region games late in the season, 1-1.
I think that's always been the advantage of softball. You don't see that in baseball here in North Dakota, but your schedule's pretty loose. You can pick up a lot of non-conference games, a lot of games outside of your class where you have those confines. Happens to you a lot in baseball. Obviously basketball you have that, but it's given the opportunity to really test some teams and gives us opportunities to have matchups like this. Easily top 5 teams in both of their respective classes.
The 2-1 pitch on the way here from Nelson to Weary. This one is going to be fouled right in the batter's box. Now 2-2. Weary, Finn, and then coming up after that will be Krenz here for West Fargo. Yes, football, you maybe get to see that 1 or 2 early, especially EDC, WDA. Now it's changed a little bit to AA and A. Here's the pitch, missing 3-2. But a chance to get some non-conference games. And like we said today with West Fargo, having 2 of their starters normally in the rotation out today, missing the game for various reasons, a chance for someone else to step in and get some valuable repetitions as Weary takes a walk. So just a second walk that Nelson has issued here, and we'll see if West Fargo, the old adage, get a leadoff walk, will it come in to score?
Yeah, you don't want that walk to haunt you. But, this is, when all is said and done in this game, we may look at this bottom of this 4th inning as the biggest because the Packers have the tying run at first. There's no outs, and your pitcher's really settled in that last inning. Besides the end where there was a few miscues, it was just really starting to settle in.
Aubrey Finn was able to get aboard with an error by Holzer. She tries to bunt. This one goes foul back. Now 1-1. Also scored back in the second inning from a Krenz, able to get a single. So that second inning, it started just like this. A walk by Doctor. She came in and scored. West Fargo would love to do the same here in the bottom of the 4th with a Weary leadoff walk at first base. Finn 1-1 in the count with Nelson and the pitch. There's the bunt. Nelson able to field it. Goes to Richter covering first, the second baseman. So good job all around defensively for Central Cass, but the game-tying run is now in scoring position.
Right fielder, number 23, Kendall Krenz.
So sacrifice bunt there by Finn as Kendall Krenz will come up with a single, and a wild pitch allowed her to go to second back in the second inning. This one running in for a strike, now 0-1. Oslin due up next, then Vetter before the lineup turns over to the top here for the Packers. The righty Peyton Nelson, 0-1 pitch on the way here to the freshman right fielder. That one is hit up in the air, foul, and Nelson gets ahead in the count now, 0-2. Nelson so far 3 1/3 innings pitch, giving up 2 hits, a pair of runs, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts here for Peyton Nelson. Nelson also has the 3-run homer back in the first inning for the senior. This one is hit up in the air. The shortstop will come out and glove that one. Holzer doing a nice job fighting off that wind that's carrying up the third base line for out number 2.
Left fielder number 14, Delia Oslin.
As Oslin, the number 8 batter, struck out on 3 pitches her last time up. Oslin coming up here trying to get the game-tying run. First pitch swinging, hits one foul. Now 0-1. The hot box here has definitely been that little area drawn down the left field line with some foul balls in this second game.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of those come that way. Absolutely.
0-1 pitch on the way. Clear skies, 72 degrees. Yeah, there's some wind, but not as windy as it was yesterday. 0-2 pitch, foul back. 0-1 pitch, excuse me, foul back now 0-2. For the Central Cass Squirrels, after this game is done, they will play a game at Thompson. We'll have that for you on your live event. Thompson will play Kindred Richland at 3, then Central Cass at 5 o'clock on Monday. Leaf Bakken will have the call for both of those games. Here's the 0-2 pitch. This one is foul back again, 0-2, and then it's a trifecta in Thompson, Joel, because we have Maple River Thompson Tommy baseball at 7. So a game at 3, 5, and 7 in Thompson on Monday here on your live event.
I would imagine that was not originally
no.
set to be the plan on that day.
It was not. 0-2 pitch runs in close to hitting the batter in Oslin, now 1-2. Yeah, this year, if you were athletic director and you set a schedule, you could pretty much put it in a blender, and it could have came out the same way as what we've seen here so far this season. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. The pitch by Nelson. That'll miss. Now 2-2. The runner at second, Grace Weary, got a leadoff walk, a sacrifice bump by Finn, and been held there ever since after a Krenz flyout. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Nelson looking to get out of the inning. This one, and she does. Nelson with her 5th strikeout of the afternoon, so the leadoff walk does not come back and haunt the Squirrels. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. 4 complete. It's a 3-2 ball game for the Squirrels with Central Cass coming to bat.
It's the concert event of the summer in the Brainerd Lakes area. Lakes Jam, June 22nd through June 25th at Brainerd International Raceway.
R&J Broadcasting is the presenting sponsor.
Experience Lakes Jam. For rock and rollers, the main stage features Tesla, Warrant, and Hairball. For country enthusiasts, John Party, Cole Swindell, Gabby Barrett, and Mark Wills. Experience watercross, drifting, and lawnmower racing. For on-site camping, lodging, and tickets, visit lakesjam.com.
The team at Maple River Grain and Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Grain and Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
Top of the 5th inning we go here in West Fargo for the Central Cass Squirrels. 3, 4, and 5 batters due up here in the top of the 5th inning. Chase Miller, Joel Morgan with you on your live event. If you missed any of our coverage from game number 1 or early on in game number 2, you can watch it on demand for free by going to yourliveevent.com or searching Your Live Event on YouTube. Hit subscribe, and then you can check out all of our games, schedules, alerts. They will have them there. As we go to the 5th inning, Finn still on for work, and Central Cass, first pitch swinging we saw from Fletchock Sinner, and now Pranty behind the count, 0-1. Pair of singles and courtesy run for Pranty today. Finn with 7 strikeouts, 0-1 pitch upcoming. This one is hit on a rope, and that's going to be to the shortstop, as that's going to be across the diamond for the out. So a Husky goes to Weary, 1 hop. A Husky kept it in front of her, Joel, enough to make the play there, 6-3 on the putout.
Yeah, nice job sticking with that one, allowing it to bounce off you, keeping your composure, and making that great throw over to first.
Back-to-back groundouts here now to end the 4th inning and to start the 5th for Central Cass is Peyton Nelson. All right, now that's been the difference maker, that 3-run homer in the 1st. That's going to be a strike to right center field. That's been the difference. Nelson 1 for 2, 3 runs driven in. And the 0-1 pitch here by Finn. That one is a grounder, and O'Husky across the diamond, weary with the stretch, and O'Husky getting her workout right now, 6-3, yet again, 3 straight outs to the shortstop here for the Packers.
Both just right to her, able to play them. That one might be a little bit more routine than the last one that came at her.
Riley Holzer, a 4-pitch walk in the first, a 5-pitch walk in the third. Finn, she's only walked 3 batters, but 2 of them have come to Holzer. And the pitch is out of the zone, 1-0. Holzer, the senior shortstop here for Central Cass. Also in Castleton, coming up in June, it'll be the Shields Softball All-Star Series. That one is going to be popped up out of play, and now it'll be 1-1. They'll be in Bismarck and Castleton. We will have all-star games for you here on your live event this summer. Softball, Optimist Volleyball Series, the Lions All-Star Basketball Series, and we'll partner with Three Border Sports Network for the Shrine Bowl upcoming in June. That'll be 2-1. Those games, Joel, are always fun as well, kind of get recognition and get to see players and people from across the state kind of come together as a melting pot for a time or two.
And as a broadcaster, a chance to see some players that you get a chance to really see throughout the course of the year. And, you know, you get to see a lot of them when you go to state, a lot of those top players, but the ones that they finish runners-up in their region, you'll get a chance to see them. So you do in those all-star series.
3 balls, 1 strike here to Holzer, 2 outs, top of the 5th inning. The pitch by Finn. That'll be in there for a strike and make the count full. Yeah, we're doing some interviews with player interviews, talking with kids from Dickinson, Divide County, different parts of the state that you and I don't really get to see or broadcast from. Here's the 3-2 pitch by Finn. This one is foul back, and pitch number 7 of the at-bat upcoming here to Riley Holzer. If Holzer can get aboard, Paige Wixo, the designated player, due up next. Finn and Lick, the battering ram here for West Fargo. And the pitch. That one is going to be walk number 3 for Holzer. So she's been up to the plate. She has 3 of the 4 walks that Finn has thrown, and now it's Paige Wixo. Sometimes, Joel, it's just that one player, for whatever reason, just has your number, and Holzer's got the number with 3 walks. The one thing, though, for Riley, she's never left first base on the first 2. That's what Finn wants to do here in the 5th. First pitch swinging. Holzer kind of looking at Lick. She'll stay put. Wixo with a pop-out and a fly-out so far here today. Then it goes to the number 8 batter, Severson, due up next if Wixo can get aboard. Here's a pitch from Finn. Swung on, now 0-2. Holzer just kind of took a couple really good hard steps at first and looked back to Lick. And now working behind in the count here is Paige. Finn trying to get punch out number 8 and get the Packers bats upcoming. This one is hit up, playable. This one will be to center field, and Kackman comes in, calls off everybody to retire the side. No runs, no hits, no errors, and 1 runner left of base. 4.5 complete here in West Fargo. The Squirrels are up by 1 with West Fargo coming to bat.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
RDK Enterprises specializes in seed meter calibration, planter maintenance, and they have the full line of precision planting products. Call them at 701-636-2119 to schedule your meter, planter, and precision planting software repairs and update. This includes monitoring and control systems, all to help improve your planting, which means improved profits. It pays to plant with precision with RDK Enterprises. Locations in Hillsboro and Drayton, North Dakota, planterdoc.com, or call 701-636-2119.
9-1-2 batters here for the Packers in the bottom of the 5th inning on our Bank North scoreboard. Swung on a miss here by Grace Vetter. Struck out her last time up in the 2nd. Kackman then Lick here, due up for West Fargo. The Packers with 2 runs in the 2nd. Central Cass with 3 runs in the 1st, and that's been the difference so far here in this contest. 0-1 pitch by Nelson, jam shot, a grounder up the third base line. Center backhands it, fires across to first in time for the out to Prochnow. 6, make that 5-3, and that's a difficult play by Center there. A ball that really didn't have any giddy up on it, able to get down barehanded and quickly exchange it and throw it over to Prochnow at first.
And to commit to that play, you know, sometimes those roll the other way. You don't want to touch it and give them an infield hit, and she committed that she was going to go through it the entirety.
Kackman off the top of the facing of the wall here, missing the game-tying home run by about a foot. That one was hit on a line. It's a 2-out double here by Kackman, who's now 2 of 3 from the day with a single and a double.
I think it's as far as you can hit that one without leaving the ballpark.
There's just, again, there's been a little alley in that left to right center field where the ball's got up in the air and it's kind of carried out in that part of the ballpark here this afternoon. So Lick comes up, a couple of pop-outs, one to Nelson, one to the shortstop. This is going to get by Pranty. Pranty just kind of snow-coned that one for a second, but then when she tried to bring it down, it went out of her gloves. So the Packers with a tying run now 60 feet away in a 1-0 count with Lick as the infield will come in now for Central Cass and try to get the runner out at home if it does happen. The pitch, check swing, did not go. Now 2-0 here to Lick. Huskies due up next. Fargo has been their best chance to score since the third when Kackman was also at third base. Got a leadoff single, a stolen base, and advance on a wild pitch. This one swung on. Now 2-1. Still to come on our post-game show, RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. I'll recap what happened in Game 1 and put a bow on Game 2 and get you ready for the rest of the weekend. Here's the pitch, swung on. Nelson, now 2-2. Peyton so far has worked 4 1/3 innings. There's 3 hits against her, 2 runs, a walk, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Nelson looking for punch-out number 6. And the pitch. That one's going to be hit in the air, and that's to straightaway center field. Fletchout comes, throws, and that's not going to be in time, so a sacrifice fly there by Lick, and we're tied at 3 apiece. Good at bat by Lick, got ahead in the count. Joel took a couple of good swings trying to lift a ball there, and now we're going to have 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning, and a good job by Lick getting the game-tying run across.
Yeah, and a good job by just the Packers all around to take advantage of these situations. Offense has kind of lulled a little bit here these last few innings.
Knotted at 3 now. As O'Husky is due up. O'Husky popped out to Camry Nelson in right field in the first, struck out on 4 pitches in the third. O'Husky 1-0. Now make it 2-0 on the count here to the number 3 batter in a lineup for the Packers. 7 innings of high school softball is always the schedule. There is a mercy rule. Let's see, get up to 10 after 5 here as well, but that's something we haven't had to worry about today. In for a strike, now 2-1. Both teams, though, they've done that to opposing teams this year a good chunk of times for the Squirrels and Packers in their respective regions or conferences.
Yeah, 17-0 the win for the Squirrels yesterday against Hankinson.
2-1 pitch, missing 3-1. Crazy, too, how, about 3 weeks ago those two teams played, Joel, and it was a walk-off homer for the Squirrels that went all 7 in Castleton. So what a difference that game can make. 3-1 pitch. That one going to be a strike now, 3-2. So West Fargo did what they at least needed. Got the 1-out double by Kackman, and she was able to come in with a sacrifice fly by Lick. This one's going to be hit on the ground. The third baseman center gloves it, fires over the first to Prochnow to retire the side. But not before 1 run comes on 1 hit. No errors and nobody left on base. 5 complete in West Fargo. We're tied at 3 apiece with Central Cass coming to bat.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
On our Bank North scoreboard, we're tied at 3. Central Cass hasn't scored since the first inning after a Peyton Nelson 3-run homer to open things up. Aubrey Finn's really done a nice job settling in 4 batters against the second. Went against 5 in the third, 5 in the fourth, and just 4 batters in the 5th inning. So Finn on for her 6th inning of work. You have Severson, Nelson, and Richter, the 8, 9, and 1 batters. And ironically, it's the 3rd time this has happened today, as happened in the 2nd, happened in the 4th, now going to happen in the 6th here as Severson fouls one off, now 0-1. Chase Miller, Joel Morgan with you, top of the 6th inning. 7 innings scheduled for high school softball here today. Game 1 went to West Fargo 7-1. Packers hit 3 home runs in that contest. Weary had the complete game win, also hit the grand slam. Now 1-1 here to the junior left fielder Severson. Finn looks in, and the pitch. That one missing. Now 2-1. Game that's 75 minutes old, started at 12:50. Packers will play a 3rd game, but against the Devils Lake Firebirds after this around 4 o'clock this afternoon. Here's the 2-1 pitch on the way by Finn to Lick. That one is going to be hit up the third baseline foul, now 2-2.
You talked about seeing situations that you're going to need to potentially see in the postseason, and you have a 7-1 game, and now you have this one where we're tied at 3, and it's been 3 unanswered runs coming from West Fargo.
2 balls, 2 strikes to the number 8 batter in the lineup here, Severson, to open things up in the 6th. Strike 3 looking. Finn gets her 8th strikeout of the afternoon. Severson, 3 at-bats, 3 strikeouts, and Camry Nelson has 2 at-bats and 2 strikeouts. So Finn has feasted on the 8-9 batters here in the Squirrels lineup. Finn a little bit more deliberate in the circle. Throws a strike. Sometimes it doesn't matter the sport. You'll see a pitcher get the ball, want to throw it right back like Mark Burley with the White Sox. Others kind of take a deep breath, recompose himself after every pitch. Finn looks in, ahead on the count, 0-1. Now 0-2 here to the number 9 batter in Nelson. One-two pitch on the way as the wind gust is starting to come up for the 2nd time here in this contest. That one missing out of the zone at 1-2. Tori Richter due up next, the leadoff batter and the 2nd baseman here in the 2nd game. Threw a complete game in the first contest, went 6 innings, but picked up the loss for the Squirrels. This one is hit in the air, but out of play, and we'll keep it at 1-2. Central Cass, 13th game of the season. Same for the West Fargo Packers here. Postseason starts up next week for the Squirrels. That one missing on the outer part, now 2-2.
And the Packers still have a whole nother game to play after this.
It's crazy. Going to be a busy week for the Packers. Doubleheader on Monday against West Fargo's Cheyenne. That'll be at Cheyenne High School. Then they travel to Red River, Grand Forks on Tuesday. A couple days off, then wrap up their regular season on May the 20th against the Jamestown Blue Jays here at West Fargo. EDC tournament quarterfinals begin on May the 24th. The state will be in Jamestown this season in Buffalo City, June 2nd through the 4th, where the Packers will try to pick up their 11th state title in program history in softball. This one is hit in the air. The center fielder comes in, and Kackman will get the 2nd out. Kackman took 1 or 2 steps back, Joel, towards the wall, and then all of a sudden realized that ball's dying a lot quicker, so she had to get on her horse and get the 2nd out.
Yeah, you really felt the wind or heard the wind kind of just start picking up right there.
Tori Richter reached on an error her last time up, singled in the 2nd, and struck out on 3 pitches in the 1st. Aubrey Finn in the circle. 2 outs here in the 6th inning as Richter takes a ball low. Now 1-0. Fletchock due up if Richter can get a board, and the Squirrels try to get a 2-out rally going. Again, if you could take an eraser and just smudge some things off that 1st inning, Finn has done a really nice job here against the Squirrels batters. And the pitch. This one swung on and missed. Now 1-1. There is a walk to Fletchock, a single by Pranty, and then Peyton Nelson at the 3-run homer, and then there was a walk after Nelson. But outside of that, Joel, she's done a really nice job, after that 1st inning here on the circle for Finn. Aubrey, 1-1 pitch, missing out of the zone, now 2-1. West Fargo Packers wins over Shanley, North, Century, South, Valley City, Davies, Grand Forks Central so far this season. This one is hit in the air. That's to center field. That one to the track, and that one's going to be off the top of the wall. Richter rounds first on her way to second, in with a stand-up double. And a left center field wall's getting a workout here in the last 15 minutes.
It's still just been the sweet spot of the ballpark.
Richter now in scoring position as Fletchock steps up. That just sounded good off the bat, very similar to a Kackman in the last half inning, hit that double to left center field. So Richter now aboard with Fletchock, the sophomore center fielder, due up. Fletchock hits one over the shortstop's glove. That's to short left center field. They're going to send Richter, and that's going to be in for an RBI single by Fletchock. Richter comes in to score, and our new score on our Bank North scoreboard, it's 4-3 Squirrels.
Yeah, 2-out hitting. Squirrels didn't do it first game. Have done it this game. The first time it's resulted in these big opportunities for them.
And those were 2 barreled balls, one by Richter and one by Fletchock. Wasn't sure if O'Husky had enough on the stretch to get to that softball. First pitch swinging as well there by Fletchock. And now another first pitch, and that's going to be a CNI single. Kate Sinner, top of the order, wasting little time as well. Fletchock goes to second, Sinner at first, and now Barbara Pranty is due up next.
And Pranty's been hitting well today, or hitting well here in game number 2. So now you extend this inning, a run comes across, you got runners on for who's probably been one of the best hitters in this game for Central Cass.
Pranty 2 of 3 with 2 singles first and in the 3rd inning. Grounded out to a Husky to start things off in the 5th, now 0-1. So after a strikeout looking by Severson, a fly out to center from Nelson, Richter with a double, Fletchock with a single, and Sinner with a single here to keep the line moving in the top of the 6th inning. And as Joel mentioned, all with 2 outs in this half inning. And the pitch by Finn. That one going to miss. You hear Scott Koss going, no, don't go from up in the press box here. Peyton Nelson due up next if Pranty can get aboard. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, top of the 6th inning, and the pitch by Finn. That one is going to be in the dirt, will allow the runners to scamper up 60 feet. So Lick did a good job trying to smother it, Joel, but it went up the third base line, and doing a really nice job as Fletchock will have some wheels as the sophomore center fielder.
Nice job at Vetter at third to keep that ball in front of her on that late throw as well. You know, that one comes by you. It wasn't a whole lot behind it. It comes by you, slows up in that corner. You're getting another run to come across.
2-1 pitch to Pranty in there for a strike. We've seen Finn kind of attack that lower part right at the knee a good chunk today. 2 balls, 2 strikes, and if Pranty can put one in play, could be a 1 or 2 RBI kind of a hit. On the opposite side, Finn's trying to get out of the inning, and she does. Strike 3 looking to Pranty, but the Squirrels able to score 1 run on 3 hits. No errors and 2 runners left on base. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning with the West Fargo Packers down by a run, but coming to bat.
Hello, I'm Jim Berkemeyer, inviting you to join me on a New England Fall Foliage Tour, September 25th to October 3rd. Our journey begins with a tour of historic Boston. We then travel to New Hampshire's White Mountains to admire the spectacular colors before ending our journey in New York City with an included Broadway musical. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ, to learn more about this tour and watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
It's the concert event of the summer in the Brainerd Lakes area. Lakes Jam, June 22nd through June 25th at Brainerd International Raceway.
R&J Broadcasting is the presenting sponsor.
Experience Lakes Jam. For rock and rollers, the main stage features Tesla, Warrants, and Hairball. For country enthusiasts, John Party, Cole Swindell, Gabby Barrett, and Mark Wills. Experience watercross, drifting, and lawnmower racing. For on-site camping, lodging, and tickets, visit lakesjam.com.
Go to the bottom of the 6th inning, the West Fargo Packers. Here's the situation. If West Fargo scores 2 in this bottom half of the 6th, they'll have a chance to win in the next half inning. If the Squirrels can get out of this inning with giving up 0 runs, Central Cass will have a chance to add some insurance before we get to the bottom of the 7th. Peyton Nelson on for her 6th inning of work. Courtney Doctor, Weary, and Finn, the 4, 5, and 6 batters due up here. Doctor with a walk and a run scored in the 2nd. Flew out to Nelson her last time up in the 3rd. Sacrifice fly by Lick, which allowed Kackman to score in the last time the Packers were up in the 5th inning to tie the game at the time, but now they're trailing it by 1. And the pitch to Doctor, missing low, 1 and 2. Peyton Nelson, 5 innings of work so far, 3 hits against, 3 runs, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts. Peyton Nelson, the senior. This one's going to be grounded. Sinner backhands it, goes to first, and Sinner's done a nice job. Joe, we've talked about O'Husky and short a couple of times for West Fargo. Kind of same play there by Sinner, especially with the backhand, with another slow grounder up the third base line.
It's another one of those where it just kind of rolls down the line. You might not be expecting that one to come your way. Sometimes the ones that get drilled your way, you're expecting those slow rollers, especially along the line, are just so hard to play.
Weary first pitch swinging, gives it to Holzer, cuts it off, and that'll be 6-3 on the putout. So 1 goes to Sinner, 1 goes to Holzer. That means Richter should finish things off here potentially in the bottom of the 6th. But for the Squirrels, 1 out closer to getting to that 7th inning, still up by 1. So Finn with a sacrifice bunt her last time up, got a single and scored a run in the 2nd. And that one, Finn has to duck and cover. Now it's 1-0. For Central Cass in the top of the 7th inning, they'll have their 5, 6, and 7 batters due up. For West Fargo right now, this is batter number 6 in the lineup with Finn. Now it's going to be 1-1. Just a sophomore Aubrey, the starting pitcher here in game number 2. West Fargo about a little over an hour and a half from now will play another contest, but an EDC game against the Firebirds of Devils Lake. This one is hit on the air. Camry Nelson goes to the gap, and that'll retire the side. So good hit there by Finn. Better job in right field by Nelson, and that'll retire the side. 3 up, 3 down in the bottom of the 6th inning. We go to the 7th. Squirrels coming to bat, up by 1.
The team at Maple River Grain and Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Grain and Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
What do basketball, choir, drama club, and marching band all have in common? They're all high school activities that offer learning opportunities not necessarily found in the classroom. They take up just a fraction of a typical North Dakota high school's budget, and they go a long way to giving young people the tools they need to thrive. High school activities, they're more than extracurricular. They're extra important, too. This message presented by the North Dakota High School Activities Association and the North Dakota Interscholastic Athletic Administrators Association.
Top of the 7th inning on our Bank North scoreboard. Central Cass 4, the West Fargo Packers 3. Nelson, Holzer, and Wixo. Nelson has a chance to add to some insurance. 3-run homer in the first. She would love to get a solo homer here to add on a run in the top of the 7th inning for Central Cass. Chase Miller, Joel Morgan with you here. Coming up on our post-game show, game recap. Get to our RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. Also, we'll recap what happened in game number 2 before we, in game number 1, before we bid adieu here from West Fargo. Go to yourliveevent.com to check out our complete schedule for games up and down the Red River Valley here in the next week or two. It's going to get really quick in terms of the number of games. This one is fouled out of play. Now 1-1. Region 1, softball and baseball. Region 2, softball, baseball. Northeast track and field meet coming up next week in Mayville as well. All on your live event. 1 ball, 1 strike here to Nelson. Finn in the circle, and that'll be a ball. Now 2-1. Peyton with the 3-run homer. 1 of 3 today with a ground out to O'Husky and a strikeout. This one is popped up, playable for Doctor. Doctor has to go close to the lip of the infield, going to right field, and that'll be a pop out to the second baseman. 1 down now in the top of the 7th. Riley Holzer has been the gnat or the thorn in the side of Aubrey Finn. A 4-pitch walk in the first, a 5-pitch walk in the third, and then the count went full in the 5th before Holzer drew the walk there. The only good news for Finn is every time Holzer's gotten aboard, she hasn't got past first base. Holzer works ahead in the count again against Finn. 1-0. Finn looks into the catcher lick and the pitch. This one is hit in the air down the left field line, and that's in there for a base knock. As rounding first is going to be Holzer. Oslin did a nice job of backhanding that one on the 1-hop, and it'll be a single here for Holzer.
And that's what that trend you talk about now is going to come into play.
Designated player number 4, Paige Wixom.
Yeah, if the left fielder Oslin is more in the gap, that's a double. And since she's playing more down the line, just held to a single there. And we'll see if they send Holzer at first to try to get into scoring position. She'll take a ball now. 1-0 to Wixo. Bottom of the lineup, 0 for 9 against Finn so far today with 5 strikeouts. So Finn trying to get out of a little bit of a situation here, but falls behind Paige Wixo. 2-0. Holzer staying put at first base. The West Fargo Packers in the bottom of the 7th inning, they will be sending up the bottom of their order. Their 7, 8, and 9 batters are scheduled. And the pitch. That one missing low, now 3-0. Taylor Severson, the left fielder, due up next.
Yeah, Squirrels did a lot of damage with 2 outs last inning and kind of getting that trend started here.
After a pop-out by Nelson, Holzer with a single. 3-0 pitch. And the first baseman, Weary, will see that one come in. So Wixo got the green light on 3-0. And now will be out number 2 here in the top of the 7th.
Fielder number 13, Taylor Severson.
And Severson comes up with 2 strikeouts swinging, a strikeout looking her last time up on a 2-2 count. This one is grounded up the third baseline and foul. Since the first inning that the Squirrels sent 7 batters to the plate, outside of the 6th, they sent 6. It was just either 3, 4, just kind of in there. The third inning, there was a 1-out walk, a 2-out walk, and a base knock as well by Pranty. This one's going to be grounded, foul. Now 0-2. Finn trying to go 7 innings here for the West Fargo Packers. After Weary threw the complete game as well for West Fargo in game number 1 of this twin bill when the Packers won. That one missing on the outer part of the plate, now 1-2. Talked about putting yourself in situations here, and we've seen more situations in game 2, Joel, with this game being a little bit tighter than what we saw in game number 1. This one is hit in the air. That'll be foul. As the clouds are starting to make their way through a little bit here in West Fargo. Gorgeous day, though. Low 70s. To play a little softball here with Severson. 1-2. Swung on and missed, and Finn gets her 9th strikeout of the afternoon. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left on base. The Packers need at least 1 run to force extras. 2 runs to win, or if they get a goose egg, Central Cass will split the doubleheader. We'll find out next here on your live event.
RDK Enterprises specializes in seed meter calibration, planter maintenance, and they have the full line of precision planting products. Call them at 701-636-2119 to schedule your meter, planter, and precision planting software repairs and update. This includes monitoring and control systems, all to help improve your planting, which means improved profits. It pays to plant with precision with RDK Enterprises. Locations in Hillsboro and Drayton, North Dakota, planterdoc.com, or call 701-636-2119.
Honesty, loyalty, integrity. At Bank North, we've remained true to these values for generations. They shape the way we do business, work with customers, and support our communities. We've been here for more than a century, helping people grow farms and businesses, finance homes, and pursue their dreams. It's values-based banking, and it's all about working together to strengthen the common threads that bind us together. Bank North, always true.
As we come back here, Krenz takes a ball to open things up. Krenz, Oslin, and Vetter, the 7, 8, and 9 batters here for the West Fargo Packers, need to run to at least to get to extra innings. If they score 2, the Packers would win. Peyton Nelson trying to get the complete game win in the circle for Central Cass. For the Squirrels, trying to go 1-1 on the day here in West Fargo. 2 balls, no strikes on the way to Krenz, and the pitch. That one gonna miss. Now 3-0. Packers drew a leadoff walk, which came in and scored in the second. Had a leadoff walk in the fourth that was stranded at second base. 3-0 pitch, and that'll be a 4-pitch walk. So the third walk of the afternoon by Peyton Nelson, and they've all been the leadoff style. And now again, situational softball comes into play as Scott Costa will come out and have a meeting on the circle here for Central Cass. And how does Scott want to play this? Also, you're going through certain areas of defense on the opposite side. If you're Pat Johnson, Joel, you know, this is where you throw that sacrifice bunt down, but we saw that happen in the fourth, and Weary was stranded at second, unable to come in. So the situation part of the game coming into effect here in the bottom of the seventh.
Yeah, there's a lot of outcomes that could happen in this situation. You are playing what you saw earlier with the sacrifice situation, but again, so much more pressure on you now with only 3 outs to work with.
So Oslin steps up, the sophomore left fielder here. The corner infielders are playing in, trying to take that bunt away if it does happen. Squares, there's the bunt up the third base line. Center bare hands it, goes to first in time for the out. So Krenz goes to second. Oslin is out on the sacrifice bunt, the second for the Packers here this afternoon. And Grace Vetter is due up next here for West Fargo. Really nice play by Center too, Joel, because that had a little spin on it, and she had to barehand it, and she did.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance in the first game to see her flash some of that leather, but she's done a great job here in game 2.
Game-tying run in scoring position now with Krenz. First pitch swinging up the third base line. Center fields it, goes to first in time, but the runner, Krenz, able to scamper to third. So 5-3 on the putout, but Krenz now, pass ball, wild pitch, anything of that nature, or just a base knock will get her in from third, but 2 down in the bottom of the 7th inning. Kackman, a single in the third, a double that just missed being a homer in the 5th. 2 for 3 today from the plate with a run scored. First pitch missing, now 1-0.
Yeah, Pranti is going to have a lot of the pressure on her right now to keep anything in front of her.
Runner at third base, Krenz, a leadoff walk, able to get to third base, but she wants to tie this one up at 4 apiece. Nelson throws a strike, now 1-1. 4th time through the batting order now for the Packers, with Lick due up next here for West Fargo. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th inning, and the pitch. And there goes what Joel just said. Pranti, after Kackman tried to get out of the way, Pranti had to get out of her catching position there, now 2-1. Walk doesn't hurt you, but a walk would put the game-winning run aboard for West Fargo. 2-1 offering. In there for a strike on the outer part, now 2-2. Runner at third is Krenz. West Fargo down to their final out and the final strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The senior Peyton Nelson in the circle, going for the complete game win for Central Cass. This one is hit in the air up the third base line, foul, and we'll have a 2-2 pitch all over again. This was kind of what we were expecting, Joel, in this Squirrels-West Fargo game, a close series, so to speak, in situations like this.
Yeah, and even the last one, I mean, it was a 7-1 game, but it was just one bad inning.
2-2 pitch off speed, missing up. Now 3-2. So if Kackman can get aboard, the catcher Lick would be due up next, and Lick is 0 for 2 with a run driven in and a sacrifice fly today. After a leadoff walk, a bump by Oslin and Vetter grounded out. 3-2 pitch, foul, and we'll keep it going. Squirrels with 3 runs in the first, 1 run in the sixth for the West Fargo Packers, 2 in the second, and 1 in the fifth. The freshman center fielder, Kackman. Here's the pitch. This one hit in the air. Playable for the left fielder, Severson, who comes in and gloves it to retire the side. Severson had to play the sun and the wind to finish this ball game. Ball game ends at 2:29 here, as we will go to our post-game show. A final, the West Fargo Packers and the Central Cass Squirrels. Central Cass wins game number 2 by a final of 4-3. Our post-game show is coming up next.
Central Cass School's mission is to foster student excellence in cooperation with family and community and to provide educational opportunities in a safe and caring environment. Thank you to everyone who has helped make this mission a reality. The new STEM Center, Theater, Music Wing, Early Childhood Center, Wellness Center, and Athletic Complex will help set students up for success in school and life after graduation. They wish everyone at Central Cass good luck this year with academics and activities as you grow into the new space and move forward with excellence.
Hello, I'm Jim Berkemeyer, inviting you to join me on a New England Fall Foliage Tour, September 25th to October 3rd. Our journey begins with a tour of historic Boston. We then travel to New Hampshire's White Mountains to admire the spectacular colors before ending our journey in New York City with an included Broadway musical. Visit holidayvacations.com, keyword RJ, to learn more about this tour and watch a travel show, or call 888-557-1020 for a free brochure.
It's the concert event of the summer in the Brainerd Lakes area. Lakes Jam, June 22nd through June 25th at Brainerd International Raceway.
R&J Broadcasting is the presenting sponsor.
Experience Lakes Jam. For rock and rollers, the main stage features Tesla, Warrants, and Hairball. For country enthusiasts, John Party, Cole Swindell, Gabby Barrett, and Mark Wills. Experience watercross, drifting, and lawnmower racing. For on-site camping, lodging, and tickets, visit lakesjam.com.
The team at Maple River Grain and Agronomy wishes the best of luck to the players in today's game. Maple River Grain and Agronomy is proudly serving producers, accessing markets, and building relationships in eastern North Dakota and western Minnesota. They offer a variety of grain marketing and agronomy solutions. See the latest updates by following MRGA on social media. They're active on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Check out the website at mrga.com to learn more about Maple River Grain and Agronomy and how they can serve you and your operation.
As we go to our post-game show, here are the finalists: Central Cass Squirrels for the West Fargo Packers 3. Let's take a look at the final line score here. Central Cass, 4 runs, 8 hits, 1 error, and 10 runners left aboard. For West Fargo, 3 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 4 runners left. Peyton Nelson gets the complete game win, while Aubrey Finn gets the complete game loss for the West Fargo Packers. The scoring started in the first inning with a Peyton Nelson 3-run homer. It was 3-0 at that point. West Fargo able to get 2 runs then in the second off of an error that happened as well. They got a walk. They got a single coming in to score. It was Doctor and Finn. It was 3-2 until the bottom of the 5th inning. In the bottom of the 5th, West Fargo had a sacrifice fly with a lick sack fly. Kackman came in and scored after a double with 1 out, and she came in Lick with the sacrifice fly, which made it 3-3. Then immediately in the ensuing half inning, Central Cass got things going on the 2-out variety. A Tori Richter double followed by a Grace Fletchock RBI single made it 4-3, and that would be your final. Finn goes 7 innings, gives up 8 hits, 4 runs, 4 walks, and 9 strikeouts in the loss for West Fargo. Peyton Nelson goes a complete game, gives up a handful of hits, 3 alongside with 5 strikeouts and 3 walks. It's now time to get to our RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. That's going to be Peyton Nelson. She gets the run homer, and then on top of that, she's able to get the complete game win as well. Peyton Nelson from Central Cass is our RDK Enterprises Precision Player of the Game. And when you get into the field for planting, RDK Enterprises of Hillsborough and Drayton wants you to have a safe and successful planting season. RDK Enterprises is here to provide the customer service and support of your precision plant equipment. Call 701-636-2119 for RDK Enterprises. With the win, Central Cass improves to 10-3 on the season. With the loss, West Fargo drops to 12-1. The Packers will be playing the Devils Lake Firebirds next for their next game here this afternoon in West Fargo at 4 o'clock. On the opposite side for the Central Cass Squirrels, they will close off the regular season in Thompson at 5 o'clock on Monday, a game we'll have for you here on your live event. And in game number 1, West Fargo split this twin bill after a Grace Weary complete game. She gives up 1 run. She hit the grand slam, though, in the first. Packers hit 3 home runs in the first inning. Tori Richter, a complete game loss for Central Cass. So game 1, 7-1, Packers. Game 2, 4-3, Squirrels. On behalf of Joel Morgan, I'm Chase Miller. Thank you very much for tuning in to high school athletics here in West Fargo. And go to yourliveevent.com for a complete schedule of games coming up and down the Red River Valley. Again, your final in game 2, Central Cass 4, West Fargo 3. Have a good rest of your afternoon here on your live event.